You don't like, who was it? The Rundells?
I don't know. I don't know who it was, but
I don't remember now.
I don't want to get another Warner Music Group on my butt or whatever.
Order guy, yeah. Them sons of bitches.
Yeah, you know.
Is it here or was it one of them weird ones over in England again?
Hello, everybody. It is the Alaboom. Tonight, let's say we're sponsored by Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, and not by NordVPN. They have yet to get back to me on my my very cheap offer to sponsor the Alaboom. So it's unfortunate, but
Apparently, we're not even worth that.
no, not with the pittance
No,
that I requested. So it is February 22nd, the year of our Lord 2023. I was just mentioning to Barry that for some reason I myself convinced that 2024 was the year. I don't know how that's possible, but for whatever reason, I had myself convinced that that's what it was. Oh, Kabuki, I still have Diet Dr. Shasta. It's just I just grabbed Dr. Pepper Zero today. I don't know. It's weird. Dr. Pepper Zero can be sometimes tough to track down. You know, it's just like it's not.
I don't know.
No, it's just like whatever.
I don't drink soda that much.
You know, I shouldn't drink it as much as I do. I'll be the first one to say that. But yeah.
I very rarely do. And when I do, it's like a Sprite or Mountain Dew or maybe like a Dr. Pepper or root beer. It's very rarely cola.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually it's like a lemon lime thing.
I just don't like clear sodas. I mean, I think I've said this before, but it's because when I was a kid, when I was sick, you know, like, you know, oh, you upset tummy, my mom would give me, you know, Sprite or 7-Up or whatever, and drink that, you know, to calm the stomach down or whatever, which, whatever, carbonation does that. I don't know, sure, whatever. But it was like one of those things for me where I can't taste it without tasting like vomit. You know, it just like it,
mental thing.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. So, you know, I mean, I don't know. What do you do?
Don't drink it.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I do, you know, because yeah, it just doesn't taste good. So anyway, what's new? What's exciting? Anything?
Much. Spent a lot of time looking at men's crotches this week. Other than that,
spent a lot of time with what?
Looking at men's crotches. I need new skivvies.
Oh, I was like, where are you going with this? But then now I understand where you're going with this.
Looking at the seams and all that, where the seams are. Yeah. I don't have much of an ass to begin with, and I lost a lot of weight, so there's not much there anyway. And I'm on it a lot, so them seams bother me sometimes.
Well, that's not what I wasn't expecting that as part of the discussion today. But
you thought I came out of the closet? What?
No, I just I didn't expect you to just open up with men's crotches is our discussion topic. So
yeah, that's what I was doing.
Well, yeah, I mean, but you know, in the realm of things, I've been doing some woodworking, or I've been drinking some of my sweet tea, or I've been trying to do some work around the house. That's usually not. I've been looking at men's crotches for a while.
I did piss my neighbor's wife off. My neighbor texted me, said, how comfortable are you with electricity? I said, more comfortable than you are. And he explained he wanted to change a 220 outlet into a 120. I said, yeah, it's no big deal. I'll be over. I'll help you out. I'll walk you through it. You'll actually do the work, but I'll walk you through it. It's no big deal. So we get it all up. He tested it with a 2-prong. I think it was a humidifier or something. Nothing happened. It was fine. We went outside so I could smoke. His wife plugged in this surge charger, which had the kids' Nintendo Cube or Flicks or whatever connected to it. She plugged that in and it sparked. So I came back, tested the rest of the house. I said I'd get a new surge protector. There's something in that pack for that video game system. There's a battery or something in, that's what's caused the spark. The electric's fine. So I went back out outside the smoke and talked to Bob, the neighbor. And the wife came out. She said, "All right, we let the electric settle a little bit. Can we plug the surge protector back in?" And I tried so hard not to laugh at her. I really did. But I was like, electricity is not like that. Once I hit that breaker, it's either going to pop or it's not. It's not. You let it settle down and come back to it later. It was a fun day.
So you lorded your knowledge over her.
No, I really tried not to. I try because I know, like, even talking to him, people are afraid of electricity. They don't really understand it a lot of times, and they see all these horror, on the news, the house burnt down, blah blah blah. They're afraid of it, and I really did try not to laugh at her, but that just caught me by surprise.
Well, electricity can kill you. There's that.
So could walk it out in the street. I mean,
yeah, but but there's industry in like, oh, I'm gonna mess with this electricity, and I'm walking down the street. I mean, one of them, there's a reason why,
depends on where you live.
Well, fine,
Go
but
to
there's a
Kensington
reason
and
why,
say
like,
that.
you know exactly what I'm saying, and you're being purposely obtuse to.
Nah, I understand. I'm not comfortable, but I'm used to electricity. I worked around it quite a long time. All right. Many people aren't that, and that's what causes a lot of problems. When people do stuff themselves, they get so nervous, they make mistakes, they touch stuff they shouldn't, they get zapped. Yeah.
If you say so.
I say so.
Hi, Scott.
What's going on?
Hey, Scott.
Barry? Lance?
Yeah, not much.
What's going on?
I don't know. You tell me what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? No? All right. Not much, man.
Not much here either.
I don't know. I mean, I literally, just as I was logging in and setting up the Alaboom, I got the notification from the school system saying that there'll be no school tomorrow. So my jerk kids get to have a.
It was 80 degrees here today, by the way.
It's going to be close to that tomorrow here, and then it's going to be freezing the next day.
I don't know what it's. I don't know where we're headed. I mean, I think last year is when we were. Well, it was a couple of years ago before it was like the ice. What do you call it? Ice apocalypse.
Ice apocalypse.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what the rest of the week is looking like. I'm like checking the forecast. Oh my gosh, my monitor is so bright.
Yeah, here it's supposed to start warming up tonight and getting to like the 70s, 75.
I guess this weekend it's going down to 50s, but then it's back to 70 next week. Yeah. I kind of wish it was like a little cooler. Like I worked out in the garage today a little bit and it was like warm. Like, no, is it already hot?
You live in Texas, Scott.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, 2 years ago, we had the ice apocalypse this month at this day.
It was a fluke.
Yeah, a fluke. So the possibility to be cold is there.
Oh yeah, I've had snow here like on St. Patty's Day. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it lasts a little longer up north. I could. Here's the thing: I don't expect any warm weather at least till March, and it's now February. It's February 22nd, so I guess we have a week.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys playing games?
I play games. I don't play anything unless it's demanded of my company.
That's too bad.
So I will be playing something new tomorrow. We apparently got a Civ game that passed the first round of play tests. So I get to give it my my plus or minus, which theoretically I don't know anything about it. I just know it's a Civ game that plays in an hour, and it made the first pass. So, well,
is this one you had seen before or no?
No,
I haven't seen it before.
Name. Never seen it. I'm going in blind, as they say. So, But I don't know. Played our Reavers of Midgard card game that we're working on for the first time ever. That's good. That was fun. Yeah. I remember back when I used to
Like your life.
Play games.
enjoy playing games. And then
It's the kill room. What the
Are
hell's
you
going on
developing
there?
film over there, Evan?
You're
Red
muted.
light.
Nah, my camera's just booting up.
Oh,
Takes a while.
It's like an old cathode ray tube.
What did me and Jen play?
Yeah, I haven't really had anything that really has been grinding my gears lately either, too. I mean, well, I will say this: my son
Don't
beat
really
me at
grinds
chess.
my gears.
I'm very proud of him. My son legitimately beat me at chess, so I thought that was pretty cool. He is now against me like 1 and like 30. So, but he got that all important first win. I'm very proud of him. So, and I didn't pull any punches, so he just outplayed me. So,
he can retire now.
Good for him.
I mean, he could. I mean, that would be my move. I retire champion.
Yeah, at least he
walk
didn't do what he
away.
did to his daughter with
Walk
that
away.
Yeah.
great that racing game.
I mean, that'd be my move. I mean,
Yeah.
There we go.
it's a good move.
Picking
Yeah,
on a
it's great, yeah.
7-year-old.
I
for
love that.
confidence.
That was when Homer, the Simpsons, the video game boxing, and Bart keeps beating him over and over and over again, and then Homer goes to the arcade and pays a bunch of quarters or whatever for which doesn't make any sense why the arcade game would be the same, but he goes there and he spends all this money to learn how to play the game, and then he goes home and Bart and him are playing and he's literally like he's beating him and you see like he's got Bart's character like he's winding up and Marge unplugs the TV because Lisa has something that she wants to talk about to everybody and then she's like, Lisa has an announcement for the family, and he goes and Bart says, Mother, before Lisa says that, I would like to announce my retirement from video game boxing as undefeated champion.
Mhm.
Back when it was funny.
Back when it was funny.
Simpsons still
30
funny.
I haven't watched it. I don't.
Somebody told me that recently that it's back to being funny again. I don't know. I mean,
Back to being funny again.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I still haven't watched it in like 20 years. So.
Yeah, if you're off for like 30 years, you're going to have a.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it like for the first 5 years, maybe, and then I stopped for like the last 20 or 30. How long has it been out? It's out for a long time.
At least the 90s, right?
I mean, it was out when I was in college. It was on when I was in college.
It was on the Tracy Ullman show.
It was on the Tracy Ullman show. I watched
Yeah,
it.
like
In the War of the
late
Roses.
80s,
Did you
wasn't
guys watch the War of the Roses movie?
Yeah.
It was the pre-trailer to that.
Yep, it was.
War of the Roses.
Oh, okay.
No, what I will always remember about the Simpsons was that they were on the Tracy Ullman show, and I remember I laughed and laughed and laughed, and they had those little things on the Tracy Ullman show. And I think I've told the story before, but
Probably.
they had the Christmas special was what determined whether or not they were actually going to do some things. So they had their Christmas special for it. And I was 18 years old, and my high school girlfriend, and I was at her house and we watched it together, and she taped it. She had the presence of mind to record it. And man, that VCR tape of that Simpsons special, I mean, like, we brought that to people's houses all the time. Hey, yeah, you're the ones that got this. Yeah, let's watch it. You know, and then people just laughed and laughed and laughed. And it was
Back in the good old days.
It was iconic. That
got
thing
ya.
with the thing and the
The
stuff.
thing and the.
That War of the Roses movie was not good.
It wasn't bad. It had some.
I don't think it was good.
That was
It
the
was-
Bruce Willis
I hated
one,
it.
right?
In fact,
It
I might
was-
say that I hated it.
For some reason,
Well, it was-
that movie always reminds me of In the Name of the Father. Totally different.
Oh,
But for
that's
some
quite
reason,
different.
I know, but it's something about the
Oh,
name
maybe it came
structure.
out. same year.
Name of the
Maybe,
Father.
yeah.
Wasn't it that IRA movie?
That's yeah. The guy.
Yeah.
That's why the guy
Yeah.
Yeah,
dies.
totally different movie there.
I know. But they're like
That's
associated
Pete.
for some reason.
That's
in my
Pete
head.
Postlethwaite. Name of the
I mean,
Father, right?
it was not a
And,
pick me up. It was not a pick me up movie by any
No,
means.
no, definitely not.
no.
And who's that actor? The British guy, the My Left Foot guy. What's his name?
Yeah.
Kabuki Kid will know.
Yeah.
Very, very famous actor and very.
He's been in a show or two.
He's been in. He's
Yeah,
had a
he's
few
been in a
Oscars,
few
maybe,
things.
maybe like a dozen Oscars or something. What's his name? Come on.
Oh, I can't remember now.
Sir Peter O'Toole.
O'Toole?
That was 1993, by the way.
That was
The Name of the Father.
the
Daniel
Father?
Day-Lewis. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Right.
The War of the Roses was
Am I thinking right? Is that
1989.
the one with Bruce Willis and what's her name? Meryl Streep.
War of
Or
the
am I thinking
Roses
of-
No.
was Michael Douglas.
Oh, okay.
And
I get
Kathleen
the two
Turner.
confused. I get the two of them confused. All right.
Catherine, yeah,
Kathleen
Yeah.
Turner, man.
it was brutal.
in a lot of
Yeah.
Kathleen
yeah.
Turner, yeah.
She's in a
Yeah,
lot of
And Danny
movies, like-
DeVito.
And
Danny
Danny
DeVito.
DeVito.
Don't forget
yeah.
about Danny DeVito.
Yeah, Danny DeVito.
That was a terrible movie. Although I think
Well,
it's probably better than.
and the guy that's there to hire Danny DeVito to be his lawyer for a divorce is Dan Castellaneta, who doesn't say a word in the movie, but he is the voice of Homer Simpson. And it was, and now that I'm remembering it, the movie was, I think it was produced by the same company that produced the Tracy Ullman Show, which is why they had that.
That
Simpsons.
makes sense.
Okay. There you go.
There you go.
Things that you didn't need to know.
Dan
or-
Castellaneta, the man in chair, it says. That was his credit. Man in chair.
Manager.
Wasn't
So
Kathleen
apparently he
Turner-
did not want to be in this one.
Wasn't Kathleen Turner in Serial Mom? Was that her too?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Serial.
Okay. She was in a she was in a bunch of fun movies.
I like
Yeah.
Romancing the Stone.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was a
Classic.
good one, yeah.
That was a classic.
That was a good movie. That was a
Also with
great
Danny
movie.
DeVito
Probably not.
and
Right.
Michael Douglas.
Yeah,
Michael Douglas.
and Michael Douglas.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
I don't think it's going to pass any tests of.
I mean, I haven't seen that movie in like 20 years,
Yeah.
at least, maybe longer.
Romancing the Stone was a fun movie.
It was. I remember watching it and liking it.
What was it?
quite a lot.
Alan Quartermain, right?
Well,
The-
and then it,
The sequel sucked.
Yeah,
It was the worst. It was like the worst. It went from like one of the greatest movies to one of the worst movies in a heartbeat.
So
You're like,
romancing.
I was so excited for that sequel too.
Cash
I was
grab.
like,
Rolled it all, yeah.
Cash
So
grab.
the scene that I love in Romancing the Stone and is okay. So that you go through the whole thing of like, oh, you know, like she gets the call from her sister, you know, saying, oh, you know, you got to come down here and help me. I'm being kidnapped or whatever it is, you know. And then so she has to travel down to Colombia or wherever the hell it is that she has to go. And the bus that she's on like breaks down, and they're all like, you know, and then those guys show up to do unspeakable things to her or whatever, because the bus ran into that other pickup or whatever. But then like Michael Douglas has that famous like kind of like guy walking down, you can't see his face or anything like that, and then he has like that opening scene where all of a sudden he pulls out the shotgun and he chases blows the other guy's away or chases him off or whatever, and like, you know, because they and everybody was stealing all of his birds that he caught, all those like those live birds that he was gonna export. I just remember
that. I need to watch it again. I just don't have any real memory of it.
I just remember him coming down and
Yeah.
seeing all those people, and like, yeah, he takes out his shotgun and just starts, you know, giving everybody hell. So
I just
Of all the-
watched Violet Night with Dave Harbert, that guy from Stranger Things. It was like it
oh
was
yeah,
like
I watched
dark
that.
comedy.
I watched that with my son, and we laughed.
Yeah, it was a little a little gruesome, but it was
was very
a
violent.
good movie. Gruesome, not
Wait, what is
violent.
it called? Silent Night?
Violent.
Violent Night, but it's basically think Die Hard, but Santa
Oh,
Claus.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
with John Hamm, right?
Home Alone. No, it's Dave Harbier,
Yeah, David Harbour. Yeah.
John Leguizamo is in it. The lady from the Lampoon's holiday movies, Beverly
Beverly D'Angelo.
Delangelo,
Oh, yeah.
she's in it. There's a couple I can't remember the other people's names. Yeah, but it was a fun movie. A little, like I said, a little gruesome, but it was a
Oh
fun
yeah,
movie.
I mean the deaths aren't exactly little Home Alone action going on as
Yeah.
well, and
They actually referenced that in the movie a couple times.
they purposely reference it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I it was on like HBO or something for free, and so my son and I we just turned it on and watched it one night because we figured what the heck.
Yeah. We saw it on, I think it was Peacock. We were debating on that and that one with Brad Pitt and Amsterdam, is it called? Or I can't remember. It's a newer one that just came out. But the other one was a little longer than this one, so we watched the Violent Night instead. Can't remember the name of the other one though.
I watched the did we talk about this? The Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Yep, I watched that too.
Did we talk about
Kevin,
it?
with I don't think we talked
I
about
don't
it.
think we
with,
talked about it.
with
It's
Kevin
damn
Bacon.
good. Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was pretty good. I watched it twice.
Did you?
Yeah, I was enthralled by it. Honestly, it was I'm like, man, I want another Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
I have to watch
Of that
I like
caliber.
Kevin
Well,
Bacon.
you get one very soon.
I know, but of that caliber, like back, like the second one was okay, but it wasn't great. Yeah.
I still remember people saying, "Oh, hey, the Guardians of the Galaxy movie looks like it looked pretty good." And I remember reading the Guardians of the Galaxy comics, and I was like, "You know what? I'm going to go see that." And I went to go see it like the first or second day it came out, and I dragged my daughter to it, and I was just like, and she's like, "What is this?" It's like, this is going to be good, or it won't.
Or it
but
won't
you know
be.
what? Or it won't. But we're
Most
gonna
likely
watch
won't.
this. And from the very beginning, when he picks up that space rat and starts singing into it like it's a microphone, I was just having the time of my life. So they did a really good job.
It's a really good. It's a really good property. They better not fuck it up.
Oh, they're gonna fuck it up. It's the latest
Well,
one.
the next one's gonna be the last one. So
Yeah.
This one is the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got
That's
a feeling the
fine.
raccoon's
That's
getting knocked
unfortunate.
off.
and the rumors abound of who's gonna die and who's
Yeah.
gonna live. So
Well, they can do like
it's probably going to be like I don't know, like some ancillary character. It's not a main.
nah, Dave.
well,
Dave
you want
Bautista
to know
said-
what the big theory is? You want to know what the big theory
If
is?
you're
Sure.
willing to kill
What's the big
Kurt
theory?
Russell, you'll kill anyone.
The big theory is that like Batista doesn't want to
Yeah,
play
he's
the
done.
role anymore, and so
Oh.
that Drax
I
has
don't
to
blame
die.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, if Drax dies, it's got a heart. That's a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Heart, a heart.
Oh yeah,
Heartstrings.
I'm sick of making money, so
Mhm.
I just don't
Yeah, I'm
want
like,
It's
he
not.
must, I mean,
He's close to 60 now, right? Would you want to build your body like that every day for months at a time? Like, it's then the makeup and all that. I mean, he's getting up there.
I mean, he wasn't that great in that zombie movie.
Oh, that yeah. That,
I thought it was okay. I didn't hate it.
yeah, wasn't great.
I always figure it's one of those things where they're like, "Well, I'm getting typecast." Well, Batista's
Like,
not
so
almost
what?
60. He's maybe
He's
maybe
in his 50s. I thought he was his late
maybe
mid
50
50s.
years old.
I
He
would
is
love
maybe
to be
50 years old.
typecast.
I
That would
thought
be
he was
amazing.
mid 50s.
Yeah, please typecast me
Yeah,
for
that would be
millions of
amazing.
dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh
still, he's
no.
doing all that action sequences and all that. That beats your body up. It's
I mean, I don't know. Whatever. If that's the reason, I don't know. That seems like a weird reason.
he was a wrestler. Think about the shit that he took before he got into acting.
Oh, sure.
I mean, his body's
Yeah.
probably giving up on
Yeah.
him.
I remember hearing this story about that, like he was because he was like he had like gone to all these acting classes and he'd done all these things because The Rock was making it as an actor or whatever, and he
Yeah.
was like, well, I can do this too, or he wanted to give it a shot, and so he was going to all these acting classes and everything like that, and he was and he went and he went and tried out for the role of Drax, and he, and they were like, oh, and it's like, thanks, and like, and then he thought, well, this is a good shot for me or whatever, because, I look the part, just kind of thing. And then they brought him back in for another, run through, and he did that, and they're like, okay, thanks, we'll let you know. And then he like weeks went by, and he just figured he didn't get it. And then he was like, so he was just, depressed, and then he was like sitting at some WWE house show somewhere, just making cashing some checks or whatever, basically. And then his agent called him and said, hey, are you sitting down? He's like, what? And he's like, and like the rest of the thing in the locker room, they said he just sat in front of his locker room and just cried, like straight, like he couldn't believe he got the role. He just sat there for like a half an hour. He just couldn't believe that they had picked him. And he goes on, and man, I mean, he was great in that first movie. It's like the stuff just goes right over your head. Nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are far too fast. I would catch.
Yeah, there's so many good lines.
Yeah. But didn't Stallone come with another Guardians squad or something in the second movie or first movie at the end of it?
Yes.
So couldn't they continue just not with the main, what we think of the main characters, right?
I guess so.
I don't know much about that.
I mean, I feel like those characters aren't going to be replicated anyway.
No, maybe. I don't think Gunn will do it because he's over at Warner Brothers now, ain't he?
Making too much money on
Superman and all that.
Yeah.
Another Batman.
I mean, that Flash thing looked pretty good, I have to say. I was kind of enjoying it. Or we talked about this, right?
Yeah, we all know it's coming. No matter what that kid did.
No, I didn't think it was going to come out because that guy
knew it was
that guy
coming.
is not he's damaged. He's not a good guy. He's not a good guy.
They spent too much money on that film. There was no way they were shelving that. They're going to probably kill him off, but
maybe. Well, at least in that
realm,
multiverse.
Yeah, but,
yeah, I'm sure they've got an explanation to replace him at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of my game group guys, and you've met him, Lance. You had dinner with him. He bought you dinner.
Yeah, he nice guy.
Went to the hospital last week for diverticulitis.
Oh my God, is he okay?
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, that's
it's
no joke.
fucking serious.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Yeah, I worked with a guy who had that.
Yeah, that's that. I know some people that got really laid up pretty horrible for that.
Yeah.
He was in there for 5 days. He beat my record.
Wow.
He was supposed to get on Monday, and they were like, "Nope, stay another day. Your white blood cell count's too high."
Yeah.
Fuck. God damn it. That sucks.
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, he's like the healthiest all. In my group. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But
I've also and it's like
there's some genetic components to diverticulitis too.
Is there?
There's always something genetic.
Yeah. My sister just got kidney stone, an operation for them. I was like, yeah, get used to that. I had them. Mom had them. My mother had them. My uncle had them.
Somebody said in 1989, Jean-Luc Picard was entering his 3rd season of being in a Star Trek show. Michael Keaton was Batman. There was a 3rd thing, and now it's like this year, Jean-Luc Picard is in the 3rd season of Star Trek, and Michael Keaton is Batman.
Yeah, I have to say,
awesome.
I mean, it's probably just because that was the first one I saw, but like Michael Keaton as Batman was like always like, the right one for me.
I don't think I identified with it at all.
Really?
Oh, I did. I mean,
I feel like Michael Keaton was way better in the past 10 years than he's been in his career. I mean, I like funny Michael Keaton stuff, like Mr. Mom and what else was he? I mean, he's in so many movies.
Yeah.
But the serious movies, I never felt he was that great until
I loved Batman.
The Birdman.
Mr. Mom when
Birdman
the
really
Birdman is great.
Yeah, Birdman was really good.
When
who
was it? It was Martin Mull. Martin Mull played his wife's sleazy
Guy
boss or
from-
whatever.
Yeah, the boss that was sort of like making the
Yeah,
noise
and
on-
then
on-
and so when he hears that he's coming over and he's like sitting around his bathrobe, he goes and races off and he like opens the door with the chainsaw or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, oh hey, yeah, just doing some work around the house. And he's like,
yeah,
he goes, can I get you a beer? He's like, it's 9 o'clock in the
it's
morning.
9 a.m.
Scotch.
Scotch. It's a good line.
Mr. Mom.
That was a good one.
And then how does
Only
it
eclipsed by Mrs. Doubtfire.
and how does it
I
end?
didn't love that movie.
And how does it end again? With the woman going back to work, back to being the mom of the house
mom
where
of
she's
the
supposed to
house.
be, and him getting his job.
And he
back.
get his job back, yeah.
Yeah, then just like God intended. Sarcasm heavily implied. As somebody takes that out of reference. I pulled the transcript from the show, and
You think somebody cares enough about this show to do that?
you shut your mouth.
Man, I'm the stoner.
Yeah,
huh?
I'll just yeah, one times, and then you'll be done. You know, so.
Oh well.
Did you ever watch that Duplicity movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was cloning himself.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I never saw it, but I wanted to see it.
I remember seeing it in the theater with my brother right before he went in the army. It wasn't that good. It was okay. It wasn't that good.
Oh, that's no good. Somebody said, "What's going on with Wormwood?" And I just typed in Wormwood and top stories.
Oh, the
Wormwood
tables?
Gaming accused of firing employee for reporting sexual assault.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a weird deal.
okay.
That's not good at all.
No.
Well,
Yikes.
yeah, I don't know the whole story. Yeah, so wait till
Wow.
I don't know anything about it.
I don't know
just-
anything about it. I mean,
I
watched
know
the video
very
of
little,
the guy
Yeah,
that posted it, but
that's all I've seen. Yeah, this side.
but there's like a weird like tone to it. I don't know, whatever. It's all bad, sure.
Yeah, but
Oh, multiplicity, not duplicity.
multiplicity.
Yeah, multiplicity, not do I say duplicity? Oops.
Was it a Matt Damon movie or something?
Duplicitous.
Didn't they shrink him or something? No, that wasn't it.
No, that was
That was Honey I Shrunk.
I saw that movie where they shrunk him. There's some interesting ideas in that movie, actually.
Yeah, but that was
What was that called? It's not a good movie,
No, it wasn't.
but it was so intriguing.
Yeah, it did have good ideas. I
Um,
can't remember now.
Yeah, what was the name of that movie? I had to watch it. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a
I can't remember the name of it. Downsizing.
downside. That's right.
Kabuki Kid knows everything.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch that movie?
Which movie?
Downsizing.
I did not. I did hear about it though.
Watched Super Size Me.
Super size, different
That's
premise.
Which was
That's
a
upsizing.
giant,
Going the other
which was
way.
giant, like did you ever see like the background of the Super Size Me thing where
No.
like well basically like people are like, yeah, this doesn't sound accurate at all, and so like there's multiple takes where people did the exact same thing he did, and they're just
Mhm.
like, yeah, this didn't have any of the effects that like you were stating. You know, they were showing like it was just
So you're saying it was a fraud?
he was not maybe, and then he
I
said,
like
well,
that director. What's his name? Man, I've got no recall right now.
Yeah.
I like the most of the things he works on.
I'm not sure. I don't remember who it is.
Super sci-fi.
The same guy who did the juicing thing and all that.
No.
That's a different guy.
Morgan Spurlock.
Oh, that's right. What else did he
Morgan
do?
Sherlock. No, I never saw Super Size Me, but I saw
Well,
almost everything else.
the problem with one of those things is that if you if you go to the trouble of having this premise and you go to the trouble of doing the premise and then you're like, and the results are kind of like, well, they're kind of middle of the road. It's just kind of like, who's going to watch
Sure,
that?
you've got to embellish some stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, you just inadvertently
I mean,
described medical
King of-
research.
King of
Pretty
Kong has
much.
lots of that. King of Kong has lots of that.
Yeah. But there you go.
There you go.
And that's a slice of life.
I better get some tea or coffee before initials.
Oh, that's not good. Marcus Verlick released a
He's
sequel
dying,
film,
he's dying.
Super Size Me 2, Holy Chicken, in 2017 to be distributed by YouTube Red, but was dropped since Verlock's admission of sexual misconduct.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what was that?
In
Headline?
December 2017, Spurlock wrote a blog post admitting to a history of sexual misconduct. After publishing his blog post, he stepped down from his position with Warrior Poets, a company he had founded in 2004. In October 2022, the Washington Post reported that Spurlock had suffered career death as a result of his misconduct.
Career death. Yeah. I guess that's what I haven't heard from in a while.
Yeah.
What year was that?
2017?
2017.
17.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
All right.
well, there you go. Which just goes to show that if you ever don't ever become famous or anything about it, if you've ever done anything wrong ever.
Ever.
You'll never, you can never
Yeah.
have any problems in your past ever.
Like and that's one of those things where
You
it's
have to live
like if
perfectly.
I mean, and I'm not if you're a piece of shit, good. I'm glad
Yeah.
you'll find out you're a piece of shit. I don't want anybody to think otherwise. But it's one of those things too, where like if it was one of those things where if you were a college athlete or something, or like and you just were like a day away from signing your like $1 million NFL contract, delete Twitter, delete
shut down your shit.
Facebook, delete all of my social media. I'm out. Delete it, nuke it from orbit, and then you start new ones. You start, if you were Alabama running back 59 and you got drafted by like the Carolina Panthers, Carolina Panthers running back 29. that's your new Twitter.
So we got to talk about the BGG's new number one.
Oh, the
Birmingham?
Brass.
And Gloomhaven dropped down to 3 or 4.
Wait,
From
did
all-
it?
Wasn't there a bunch of like one rating campaigns?
Yeah, I saw something about
Yeah.
Gloomhaven dropping.
That's overblown.
Is it? Oh, okay. I didn't really.
I mean, isn't it?
I don't know. I saw tons of people on the
Tons?
social medias. I would say
Tons of
like
people.
tons
You know
of
what?
people.
Let's
All
do
the
some.
people.
Well, here's the thing.
Here's
Yeah,
the
sure,
thing.
it sucks.
It sucks.
People giving false ratings or just to knock something down is annoying as hell.
Yeah.
However, it is not that big a deal. It really is not. You know how many ratings were given to Brass of a 1 rating?
Not many, I'm
220 out of
sure. Thousands.
35,676 ratings.
How many 10s, Scott? Let's see the other side.
Oh, there's thousands. Yeah, thousands.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but
12,000.
people would I mean, as I understand it, someone who is a fan of Gloomhaven might have given Brass Birmingham a 1 without playing it.
Right.
There's 221s out of 35,000. That's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of not a lot.
Yeah.
So
It still sucks, but like
And
at end-
it's
at
the
end
same
of the day,
ratio
it's not
also
gonna-
on
yeah.
Gloomhaven's side. Gloomhaven has a lot more 1s, by the way.
Oh, interesting.
Which
that's
I don't know,
also-
it just feels like it's overblown.
Yeah.
To give these people the elevation, 700 out of I mean, look, 56,000. Is that 1%?
Yeah.
Half a percent? Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Or 1.5%. I don't know.
What?
Math.
What? So what?
I don't do math.
What gave Brass the bump lately? What shot it up recently?
It's just been slowly climbing over the past year.
Oh,
Past
has it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's currently out of print.
Is it
What is it? It's Brass. and
Brass
then-
Birmingham?
And then Gloomhaven.
Not that garbage Lancaster.
Yeah, Gloomhaven dropped to 3.
What's in
What's
two?
number 2 now?
Number
Now,
2 is
I would be
Pandemic
willing.
Legacy.
I would be
And then
willing.
Ark Nova, right?
I would be willing to
Pandemic
wager.
Legacy?
I'd be willing to wager, and this is not for sure, 100%. But this is what I'm willing to wager.
New
Heart,
party game from Mikester. Willing to wager.
yeah, willing to wager, willing to
$1
wits and
American
wager,
dollar.
willing to
One
wager and wits.
American
No,
dollar.
$10 American dollars.
I would absolutely state that the fulfillment brouhaha of Frosthaven and people stepping in to say negative, to probably post negative reviews of Gloomhaven because of it, could possibly have had an effect on its overall ranking, making it drop. Because to go from 1 to 3, that's huge. That's ridiculous.
Huge.
It is.
How big is it,
Huge.
Scott? Numbers wise,
I have
can you
no
tell
fucking
that?
idea. I mean, here's the thing.
Even
I don't know what to
Scott
say.
doesn't know how the algorithm
I
works.
don't
It's all
care.
smoke and
You
mirrors.
don't
I don't
care.
care.
No, you don't. Actually, I actually heard. Somebody actually, I saw this. It was a big long post. They actually like did a deep dive into the algorithm and how it worked, and they showed
Nobody knows
how.
what the algorithm is.
No, no. Seriously. I'll send you a link. They showed that there's a correlation between the number 1 game and how many $1,000 checks are sent to Scott Alden. By the
Oh,
publisher.
yeah.
Yeah, Scott, what's your
I'm
address?
easily bought and paid for. No
What's your
problem.
address, Scott? Need to
One,
write
two,
some
three,
checks.
Fake Street.
Yes, I need to write some checks.
Isn't that from Simpsons? 1, 2, 3, Fake Street. It's something.
Yeah.
Simpsons.
Yeah.
Can we see the scores from 3 months ago?
Kabuki Kid, gotta fuel that pinball fund somehow. It all adds up. All these brand new pinball machines.
They're not brand new. Nothing's brand new. They're all used.
Oh, what did they say? Follow the money, baby. Follow the money. Look
I don't
at
know
him.
if I
He's
can
like,
pull- I don't know if I
let's
can
talk
pull
about
the
something different.
scores. I have a way. You know what? I probably need to make a way that you can look back in time, like what the date of the current date was. Actually, you know what? I might have that.
He's all like, "Hey, let's talk about how's that traffic at the schools, lads?"
I mean, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
We're talking about less than 1%.
Hmm.
Like if you had $1 and you dropped a penny, would you care? I mean, I just don't feel like it's even. Sure, it's annoying, and those people suck.
Yeah,
But you're talking about like almost nobody
people got a bit.
out of hundreds of thousands. I mean, we're almost over 100,000 votes from what? How do you care about that? Like, why not? Like the fact that you're giving it any air makes it like you're caring about 1% of people. Some of them may be legitimate ones. Like, I mean, whatever. And we also say you can rate any game for any reason. Like, I feel like there's no, and 10s are equal to the same. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
It's all right, but I mean, it's interesting to talk about. I mean, I'm not like trying to shut down the conversation.
I don't want to talk about the algorithm.
It's an interest. I want to see. I'm curious how quickly Arc Nova will make it, because I feel Arc Nova is still pretty new. Like not everybody's played it yet.
Yeah, Brass is pretty old. Isn't it?
Brass has been around for like 10 years.
Yeah,
Is it that old?
At least.
It's pretty old.
I remember playing one of the first prints
Oh, wow.
with Jamie and them guys.
Was it always Roxley? Was that?
No,
No, it was
it was Warfrog was the original publisher.
Okay.
But there was a different version of Brass Lancashire. I don't know how you say it.
I didn't play that.
That was the
Lancashire.
original version of it, and then which re-implemented Brass, the basic Brass. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% of the.
Okay.
2007 is when that came out, so that's what 16 years ago.
Really?
I don't know, a long time ago. That was the original Brass. Yeah.
And what did
And
you
then-
say 2 was? Pandemic Legacy Season 1?
Season 1,
And
which is
that's,
pretty good. Pretty good game.
What, 7-8 years probably, right?
That's like, maybe even more. No, that sounds right. Because it came out, I had the game store open, and it came out like a year or two after we opened, which was 2010. So probably 2013.
By the way, just another thing I'll say. Board Game Geek doesn't say #1 is the best game of all time.
No, he just said
We make no
just-
state. No one,
yeah.
and people
Oh,
that
yeah.
say that I feel are misconstruing it. It's just, it's not the #1 game of all time.
Yeah,
It's just
What
the
is-
#1 game on the rankings of Board Game Geek. I mean,
Right.
take that as you will.
Right.
There
Yeah.
are hundreds of
As-
thousands of games out there.
As arbitrarily.
In fact, there are
ranked
more
by a bunch of
than
people.
20,000 games ranked.
Yeah.
That's a lot of games.
Yeah.
To even be in the top 1,000 is spectacular. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just look at stuff like that, like from the designer's perspective, where like, you know, when we had shipping issues for After the Empire and people started dumping ones on there because
Well,
they were like,
'cause of
Yeah, it's
GameStop.
annoying.
where's my game? And I was
Yeah.
like, oh no.
Rating. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's just sucky.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I don't know
it's
how to. There's no real way to deal with that.
There's not. Yeah.
Like, no
No.
one's gonna police the ratings. Like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
police the ratings. At
I
least
think
not
it's
on
just
my
one of those
watch.
things where, you know,
Yeah.
it's a community driven system.
Yeah.
And people
Yeah.
are going to rank based on whatever the heck they want to rank based on.
Yeah.
And
I
hopefully
mean-
the amount of overwhelming real ratings, I put that in air quotes,
Real.
we'll call it real versus fake,
Okay. Go that
overwhelm,
way. Yeah.
overwhelms the. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I feel guilty about rating a game that I've not played. I'm not gonna
Yeah, I
rate a
would
game.
too.
I'm like, why should I give that an 8? Like, I didn't play it.
Yeah.
I only looked at it, you know,
Right.
like, or a
Looks
1.
good.
Why would I do that?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand that bone.
Yeah.
A new IP
but,
and pretty.
You know, the world
plastic
is a smaller and smaller place.
So, Scott, is there a way you could tell like what the number difference between 1 and 3 or 1 and 5 is on that list and
Yeah.
vote, or like how big is it between 1 and 2 and you know 1
Oh,
and
like
2?
100th of a point.
Oh, okay. So it's not.
Yeah, it's
huge.
8 point. Man, I gotta turn my monitor down. It's too bright. Blinding myself for some reason. Hold on. Whew. Okay. So number 1, Brass 8.433. Number 2, Pandemic Legacy Season 1 8.407. That's what 300ths of a point.
Yeah, it's small. So,
It's not even, it's yeah. And then Gloomhaven is 8.404, which is 3/1000ths difference off
Yeah.
Pandemic.
so you're talking like less than the 100th of a percent. Wow.
Yeah, it's very tight.
That's
And
why
Arc Nova is 8.287, which is 0.2 of a point lower than Gloomhaven. But it also has it has the fewest ratings of the top 4 games on BGG right now. I wouldn't say just the top 4. I keep thinking this word best comes out of somewhere's mouth, and I'm not sure where that's coming from because we never say best. I don't think I've ever said it, but anyway, maybe I have.
Yeah, I haven't.
I'll say top. Arc Nova only has 26,000 ratings.
And that's number 4.
Yeah, and then the next highest number of ratings is Brass with 35,676.
The base game.
Brass Birmingham, 35,676, which came out in 2018, by the way.
Was it 2018?
That's not that long ago. And Pandemic Legacy Season 1 is 49,000, and Gloomhaven is 56,000. Now, Terraforming Mars has more than all of it, 86,000, and I'm surprised it hasn't actually hit number 1. You know, sometimes like
because it isn't the best game, like you just said.
it's not the best. It's not the best.
What is that? Scott? 5 Terraforming Mars?
Yeah, 5 or no, 6. Twilight Imperium 4th edition.
Really?
But that
4th
only has.
edition?
I mean, here's the thing: Twilight Imperium 4th edition has 19,888. So it's the fewest of the ratings quantities.
I'm surprised.
The mode, is that the mode? I don't know. That's not
The
the
mode is the one is
that-
the rating that happens the most.
the most number. Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to do a little more statistics. It'd be interesting.
Well,
And that's just off my bad memory, so that might not even be
I think you're right with the mode.
that's not that old, right? That's only like 3 or 4 years old. That the 4th edition.
Well,
right?
the 4th edition came out in 2017. We're in a time warp, by the way. Add 2
5,
to
6
everything you
years.
think.
Yeah,
every time
really.
every time you think of a date, add 2 years because we basically lost 2 years.
Pretty
time.
much.
I hate it. It's the worst.
Let's do that.
Oh, should we watch the?
It's just a jump to the left.
I don't know if we should watch this. The Wormwood put out a response video,
Ooh. I mean, I want
which could be
but...
interesting.
Oh, hey Matt.
Hey, Matthew.
Matt,
I would actually like to see it.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
play it.
Yeah,
Oh, we can't hear
because
you.
two sides to every story. We don't want to,
Matthew, your microphone isn't working. Is that how they talk up in Canada, right?
Microphone.
Microphone isn't
When did
working.
they become Scottish?
No, I'm pretty sure that's Canadian. I'm really good at accents.
Oh, it's 14 minutes long.
Is that better?
Yeah, that works.
What's the issue?
I watched the video earlier. I don't know if it's the same one, but
all
from
bad.
my understanding, someone accused Wormwood of firing someone who was involved with a rape accusation.
where's the video?
Wait, it was a rape? It was
Sexual misconduct.
Sexual misconduct.
that's
sexual-
different. Well, yeah, sure. Still,
Sexual harassment. Where's the video? Is it like on their YouTube channel or something? Or?
It's under Wormwood, probably. So this happened a few years ago, from what I understand, in 2020 or 21, something like that.
It's ringing a bell. I feel like I had heard of this before.
And they fired the employee. There was a couple involved. On Wormwood's side of it was there was a couple employees involved, which had toxic environment in the shop. So they both got fired. And then later on, Wormwood found out that it may have happened in the shop. They weren't sure at the time of the firing.
Right.
You know. So from what I seen on Wormwood's side, they did maybe not the right thing, but the best thing under the circumstances and the information he had at the time. Yeah. So basically, from what I understand is the tweet was the accused person of the sexual misconduct was fired from Wormwood. And then Wormwood saying there's another person, two other people involved that came to them and it was part of it, but wasn't as toxic or something. You'll have to watch it for yourself. But from what I saw from Wormwood's side, they weren't in the wrong. They may have been able to handle it better, but they did the best that they could at the time. I don't think there was anything shady on Wormwood's side. It's from what the owner's saying, the problem came to him, he handled it as he saw fit and he moved on,
I don't know. It's what's I watched like the first 30 seconds of this video and I love how it's just like it's being the fact that the video is being presented like it's this off the cuff like hey, we're gonna sit down and talk about this and then we're gonna post it on our YouTube video. It's been up there for a day and there's 74,000 views. No, this wasn't a, hey, we should just talk about this right now. No, somebody sat down and said this is exactly what we're gonna say. This is how we're gonna say it. And because they've been doing high quality like live TV type videos for a while. And so if anybody's buying into this idea that they're like, hey, we're gonna put this up and we're gonna throw it up there, that's a bunch of crap.
There's
So,
two guys in the room sitting there looking at their phone, which is kind of odd.
Well, it's just because it's just a casual conversation. They're not. They're just trying to get.
There's like, yeah.
But like I said, there's two sides to this. Yeah, once you find out.
Absolutely, there's two sides.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not going to rush judgment. But I mean, I really don't like how absolutely facetious that looks to me. I mean, just the fact that they're like, oh yeah, we gotta, hey, let's sit down and rap. Let's figure this out because that's what we're here to do. No, this was, and there's going to be people that are going to be like, oh well, I'm glad they took the time to just not have a lawyer speak for them, and
Well, they do at the end, if I remember right. But it's. I watched I was interested in the
When did you watch the video? Just now when we've been
earlier today. I did, or I was listening.
Then why didn't you say anything? We were talking about it like a little bit ago.
I just explained it, didn't I?
I understand, but we mentioned it, and then we started talking about something completely different, and you never mentioned that you watched the video until
I didn't know if you wanted to stay on it or not. It's. I watched where I listen to them in the background because I'm interested in the woodworking end of it, but That whole thing, that whole
I get it.
Hey,
Woodworkers of the world unite is what you're saying.
nah, it's just I'm interested in how they do their processes and all that. Just I appreciate the craftsmanship and the different things. But I'll listen to them once in a while if they come up. And for the last few months, it's just been it's all clickbaity type shit. But I think they're in trouble as a company, in general.
Because of this, or just
It's just a bunch of stuff
okay.
that's been going on in the last couple year probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hi, Matthew.
Hello, Matthew.
No, you were right about the accusation of rape.
I
Apparently,
thought I was.
it's in the video.
Yeah. I thought I was.
Wayne Kruger just said that halfway through, the guy mentions the alleged rape happened at a holiday party with booze. Ooh, okay. Well, weird stuff, man.
Yeah.
That damn booze.
Evan.
Yeah.
Yeah, booze in a workplace is never a good
No,
idea.
it's always bad. I mean, like,
Elixir, what you got?
I mean,
something
I used
wrong there, man?
so I
Oh, sorry.
you know,
What was that?
the whole thing at Gen Con, that party, or is it Gen Con? No,
Origins, that
the big
bar.
bar.
Yeah,
Man, bad stuff originates there.
Yeah,
The big bar on 2 is just like,
It's like party time. I feel like and it's so weird. Like, I guess it's in people's systems. Like, most of the people in that bar were working.
Yeah.
They're not like
yeah.
they're not
On pleasure,
not on
necessarily.
pleasure. I don't
Yeah.
think. I mean, maybe some people are, but
I mean, Shane said he's made,
countless deals.
deals that make him hundreds of thousands of dollars just being because you're there and
At
you're
the big
talking
bar
and
and the bar.
you're there in the big barn too. So I mean, all I know is that I just stay away from it now. It's just like after it's just like, nothing but bad news going on here. So let's just forget this place exists and not have anything to do with it.
Well, it reminds me of I don't know, whatever. It reminds me of something like that I don't want to be reminded of. Like the party atmosphere and like getting out of control and just.
Oh yeah, and then
I mean, I've definitely had good times there, but I guess maybe I'm just not around when people are getting out of control. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a definitely change in the
I think
night.
there was there's definitely been a
change in the
dramatic
mood.
and not, and mind you, for the better. There has definitely been a dramatic change as far as the good old boys club that conventions used to be, where it had kind of like that Vegas, hey, what happens at Origins or what happens at stays at because we're all here. This is our time to be crazy and drink a lot and say inappropriate things and cheat on our spouses. Just like, and this is all just me, like a little bit of hyperbole, but not really. I mean, so, and then it's just stuff has changed.
I
didn't even mean that. Like, I meant,
what's that?
Gray Fox Games package has been shipped, and I will receive it on Saturday.
It's lies.
When it
Which
got
game
shipped,
is that? Which game is that we're finally getting?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't tell me. It's just a UPS note.
Oh, you should have a. Oh, good.
Let me see if I can find out. Man,
I'm guessing it's. I'm gonna guess it's Ragnarok's, but.
Ragnarok. Yeah, that was
so speaking of, you should Sen did on Meeple Syrup the other day. Sen interviewed a lady by the name of Kate Bullock, and they talked all about safety in gaming and stuff.
I saw some of that.
It was really good. Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
it was very excellent.
3 pounds, Lance. 3 pounds. Sorry.
Yeah, that's Ragnarok's. I'm almost positive.
Man, you got 3 pounds of flesh out of you, Scott?
I'm curious to see that.
You got 3 pounds of flesh out of you? Usually it's only 1.
Anyway, you were saying before.
I rudely interrupted.
Yeah, and I rudely interrupted. Rudely interrupting.
Yeah, so it was a Is it an interview?
It's an interview. They talk about safety and calibrating the game, calibrating the game for everybody versus like safety is a bit of a misnomer sometimes, they said. And they talked about a lot of it was like RPG stuff, but
yeah, it was largely RPG focused.
yeah, but it was really neat, like just talking about stuff like the X card that some people use, which is like this card where you can just touch the X card if it's the story's going in a place that you're not comfortable with, and they'll like retcon it and rewind it and say, okay, you don't like spiders, how about you fight rats? And like, yeah, rats are good, you know, stuff like that. So it was just really interesting.
Wouldn't this be a discussion for your game group though? Is this, or is this just a discussion for the discussion?
It's about giving tools
for discussion. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any one tool might not be the right tool for a specific game or a specific
right.
But it's about providing the tools. Yeah.
So what was the safety part? I'm curious about that. What was it just that like subjects that disturb you, or did they mean like physical safety type stuff? Like a cons.
I think it's mostly emotional safety, but sometimes that triggers physical safety concerns too.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've all had, you know, that story where, you know, your friend goes to some other D&D group and they come back and they're like, you know,
Satan worshipers,
nope, you know, for any number of, you know, reasons that are more or less disturbing.
What size strings you putting on, Matt?
942s.
9s?
Oh yeah. Are we getting the band together? Let's do it.
I just did my acoustic at work today, so I'm doing my electric now.
What is it, a telly?
I will say this. It is like going to it is really, really tough to calibrate yourself to another D&D group when you've had like the same group for decades. Yeah. And it's not that any of those people are bad or anything like that, but I mean, every single situation I've had where people are like, oh, you play D&D? It's like work or something. Like, yeah, we have a D&D group. We need another player. Would you be interested? And I'm like, yeah, I'll come play D&D with you. And then I go and then I come home, and every single time I tell my wife, I'm never going to play with that D&D group again.
Never again.
And it isn't that they're horrible people or anything like that. It's just like it's just different ways of whatever, you know, and it's not. I've never had. I mean, there's been a couple times at conventions where I remember like when I went to a convention, Con of the North, when I got to go to the bathroom. When Rebecca and I were just dating at the time, she was just watching me play D&D, and then like when I left, like the guy tried to like hit on her, like even though it was obvious that and then like she was like, yeah, that guy was like hitting on me, and I was like, oh, I was like, well, I'm gonna go make sure I'm never allowed to come back to this convention.
Yeah.
But I mean, and then there's been like a few times when like I've never had to deal with the like really horrible human beings ever, you know, which I guess I'm just lucky. You know?
I was recently
also I the way I look and the way I am, it's like, I don't know, people probably wouldn't say anything to, and like my wife always says, it's like you just like you look intimidating, so nobody's gonna say anything or try to, you know, make me angry. And I'm like, all right, well then I guess it's a different world, you know.
I was recently watching something with my wife about cruises and hookups on cruises, and I was asking her, like, as a woman, would you go to his room or bring her back to your room, or how would that work? She's like, what do you mean? What would you do? It's like, I'm a man. I won't even think of talking. You know, let's go. You know, back to my place. You know, but she's like,
there's, you know, safety concerns.
Yeah. It's like shit like that I wouldn't even think of. Yeah.
Yeah, it is weird to get out of our own skin.
Yeah.
And have to like try to like figure out how you would handle things in comparison to other people or whatever. So
yeah.
I don't know. I you know, it's kind of like you know, and by the same respect, it's like when I've gone to conventions and I sat down and played board games with people I didn't know, which is pretty rare. I usually know most, if not all, the people at the table, even if it's like just like, you know, casually industry type people. It's one of those things where, you know, I rarely have a situation where any of those situations are bad either. I mean, and again, I'm probably not speaking from a very, you know, aware viewpoint at all, you know. So I mean, and I'm not trying to say, oh, it doesn't exist, because I know it does. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like, you know, because there's shitty people out there who will use their that little moment or whatever of that insular moment of getting people in the. But you know what's weird though is that like you'll run into people that are like that like that's their, for lack of a better word, time to shine, if that makes sense. You know, it's like it's like, oh, you know, I'm finally around people that like that get me and do this thing that I do, and so I'm finally able to like, I don't know, just be excited about being part of something, and that's their social aspect. And so then, but they don't realize that they're kind of awkward and difficult to deal with. There was that one convention I went to in Syracuse at QsCon when I was playing. We were playing Battlestar Galactica, and there was this guy that had the game, and we were like, oh, and he's like, yeah, I have it. I think I've told the story, but he said, yeah, I have it. And I'm like, oh, cool. Can we play it? And he said, well, you can play it, but I have to play because I want to play. And we're like, all right, that's fair. It's your game. You know, we'll wait. And so then he said, well, I've got to take care of this or whatever. And like he was wrapping up this other game, and we were like, well, we'll go set up the game. And I said, so I mean, you know, it's like, well, myself and my wife are going to play, so the maximum number you can have is 3 more people. And we're like, that's fine, that's cool. And so we got 3 more people, we set the game up, we got one or whatever, and we came over and played, and we got the game going, and I was a Cylon, and the Cylons were winning. And like, to me and the other guy that was a Cylon, we were having a good time and everything like that. And everybody, and like the other guy was a human, was just kind of like, oh man, that stinks, but he was laughing and having a good time. And this guy, like literally, like when his wife was like saying, well, maybe we should, you know what you're doing. Literally so mad that he was losing, and he was like yelling at his wife at the table. And I was just kind of like, at what point do I say, hey dude, you know, can you it's just like, and like
awkward.
I probably have and then the person that was there that I hadn't ever played with, it was a Cylon. And like he had friended me on Facebook, and all of a sudden my thing changed, and there's a message. He's like, should we just quit? And I was like, this is really awkward. I was like, yeah, I agree. And we're like texting back and forth. I was just like, and she's just, it's like, well, you know, it's like, you know, maybe we should, you know, why don't you just be quiet while I'm taking my turn? It's just like, oh, well, this lost all frame of fun very quickly.
There's certain games you shouldn't play with spouses.
And it's just like, kind of staring there.
I never really had like a regular game group, so I'm kind of used. Like with a secret.
Well, there's a reason for that. You're just an unlikable cuss.
That too, but yeah, I had a pretty bad experience with Paul. Not that the experience was bad, the game just struggled on, and I think the ladies we were with, you know, they checked out halfway through. You know, we were just determined to finish it. But I enjoyed the time with Paul and all. It's just a game, yeah. But I never had that, you know, where there was that that awkward moment.
Yeah.
Other than that one dude who kept leaving the game, he pissed me off after a while. But him and his wife would come, they play halfway through a game. I got to go to work, and they leave. I'm like, what the? You could have told us before we started. You know.
Can I just say that strings are fucking expensive now?
Yeah.
Are they?
I paid $25 for a set of strings.
24.
For one?
25 for a set. Last time I paid for them, I remember paying like $9.99.
You cheap bastard.
Really?
Mind you, these are good strings, but maybe.
I got Ernie Bowls. They're about $7 a set.
These are elixirs, so they have this like nano coating on them that make
I don't need all that shit.
Oh, that's what you were holding up. Okay.
Yeah,
You
my
could just go out
favorite.
and like kill some stray cats and make
See,
your
I'm
own.
Let me
cheap,
think.
man.
Yeah,
I
that makes
recognize
sense,
Ernie
man.
Ball, but I don't recognize Elixir.
I think I remember seeing them being about 18, 20 bucks here.
Cut
You
off
should
the
try them. They
middleman.
feel so nice.
Uh,
Dude,
I have no
have you seen
feelings in my
those?
fingers, so it don't
There's
matter. I
these
could be-
reverse wound, like flat wound ones, where like it's super smooth.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, those are sweet.
Well, they make bass strings like that.
Yeah. My bassist got them, and he was showing me. I was like, dude, that feels awesome. I might even like play bass for an entire song without my fingers bleeding. It'd be amazing.
One of the guys that works for me was looking into buying a hurdy-gurdy.
That'd be
Alright.
rad.
And then he's like, but they're like a lot of money.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I found one on Amazon that was like, it's like a puzzle kit that you put together with like the tongue and groove
I've seen
wood,
that.
laser cut
I've seen
wood.
that.
Oh, really? Huh. That's interesting.
I've seen
This
that.
is so thin. Oh my
I
god.
haven't-
For all those hurdy-gurdy songs, you're gonna.
Yeah.
Hey, man, don't crush my dreams.
Yeah.
Don't crush my dreams. My hurdy-gurdy dream. All right.
I mean, why don't you just buy an accordion and just
Oh, Matt, you said the acoustic tune right away. You didn't have to play with the rod or nothing. It just went right in the tune.
Pardon?
Your acoustic, you said that just went right in the tune. You had to play with the truss rod or nothing.
No, not at all.
Really? Wow.
I don't think it has a truss rod. I mean, maybe it does.
It may
Oh,
not.
man.
Yeah, some of the acoustics don't.
No, it was like literally like an eighth of a tone out of tune, which was awesome.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
This guitar, on the other hand, is in serious need of some help.
Yeah. Well, you got the spring tension
This
and all
guitar
that.
is-
on that.
change the guy who's holding it.
I was looking for a capo the other day, so I started looking through all my cases. I've collected janky guitars over the years. I started looking through my cases for a capo, and I pulled one guitar out. I was like, wow, how come I never play this one? This guitar is really nice. I started checking it out, and then I was like, oh, it's because the neck is
The neck's
fractured.
twisted. Yeah.
The neck was fractured
Fractured.
right at the top.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, okay, that's why.
So this is an American Strat, which I was really happy to get back in the day because
It's
it's
the
like,
Canadian Strats.
Rather than the Mexican strats.
well, there's like Japanese,
Yeah.
Mexican, American, right?
Yeah.
And I really loved it, but it's kind of taken a beating over the years.
How old is it, Matt?
It is. I was working at Alcatel at the time, so it was 2006,
Okay. So 10 years or not 10, I'm sorry.
15 years,
15. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that.
almost 20.
I'm tired. I'm gonna have a rough couple days here. I'm just smoking it up as much as I can. Yeah. So 15, yeah.
It's just there's a lot of buzz right now. I don't know why, but
Oh yeah.
on the neck,
Okay.
we'll figure it out. So Evan, I was trying to figure out a song that to in order to appease you and Vince.
Yeah. What are you gonna play us?
So far, the leading one is "She Talks to Angels"
I don't know it, but I'm gonna listen.
by the Black
You've
Crowes.
never
Black
heard
Crowes?
She Talks to Angels. She
I
talks
don't
to
think so.
angels.
Did you ever hear the Black Crowes?
I've heard of a song by the Black Crowes.
They
All right. I'll
they
check
were
it out.
pretty short lived, weren't they? The Black Crowes.
No,
remember the
I
name,
mean,
but-
No.
Black Rose had like a decade or so, I'm sure.
If that long, yeah, maybe.
We used to like Black Rose is like 7 guys and they all look like they could hide behind a flagpole. We would say like,
They're all super thin. Yeah.
yeah, like so, and it was always wrestling tag teams, but bands, and just like in this corner weighing in at 1,200 pounds, the Metallica, and this corner weighing in a combined weight of 402 pounds, the Black Crowes.
The lead singer, Chris something or other, was married to Kate Hudson.
Yeah, for a while.
Why do you let that one screw? How do you screw that up?
I'm sure
He might
drugs
still
and-
be. I don't know.
Nah, they're divorced. I just saw a thing on it. There was some legal stuff with the founding members of the band recently that came up. I can't remember exactly what it was, but some of them are brothers apparently, and then the basis or something. There was some legal stuff. That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
they haven't really been touring. The band disbanded. Yeah.
Seems like everybody has legal stuff now.
Like I
Yeah.
said, we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
If you better make sure you never did anything wrong ever if you're going to be famous, because they'll find it.
Mhm.
And if you do become famous, the first thing you should do is delete all of your social media. Because, you know, well, you sent out a tweet back in 2008
Meh.
that said this. Okay.
All right, I've heard that song before.
Okay.
I definitely didn't listen to it a lot, but
Not your
Thank you for
thing.
finally believing us that you've heard the song.
it existed. It
It
existed.
existed. Yes.
You're right. You're right. I was alive. I was there.
Damn millennials.
I am
You
not
want to
a
be
Muslim.
you want to be that cool guy who's like, yeah, I don't listen to that kind of music.
I am too old.
Before
to
I
be a
was
millennial,
born.
unfortunately.
Well, yeah, I mean, I listened to YouTube before they were cool. I get it. I hear you. I feel you.
No, I was
Um,
always behind the times. I was like into 80s stuff when it was 2000s,
Really?
and then I never caught up with the 2000s.
Why do you think
Oh,
that
in
is?
my opinion, you're not missing much, but yeah, it's just me. Well, 2010s. Yeah.
I got into all like Tori Amos and Sarah McLachlan and stuff, but that was about it.
Who are you trying to impress?
Yeah, who are you trying to sleep with?
Well, I got introduced to them by my girlfriend. Thus, it wasn't to impress. It was just due to exposure. And then it turns out Tori Amos is an incredible musician.
Yeah, she's a good musician.
Yeah.
I
It is
worked-
incredible music.
I worked security
So was Cheryl Crow.
for an Ani DeFranco concert.
oh yeah,
Ani
he-
DeFranco.
Right after she got married to a dude, and
Yeah.
man, the anger from the lesbian counterpoint of at that concert was palpable.
Well,
Yeah.
Very weird.
There's a lot of weird gatekeepy stuff in a lot of different cultures.
Yeah, there is. My wife was telling me they had a grand reopening, like they remodeled her bakery and most of the store, I think. And they had she said it wasn't a band, it was like a duet, a guitar and a bass, I think, something like that. As she's they're playing and she's going about her work, and then all of a sudden she hears Alanis Morissette, You Ought to Know, that verse that she go down on you on the theater. As she she looks up and this old lady's looking at her.
There was a landscaping company called Alanis Landscaping or something, and they tweeted something that said you ought to mow.
Yeah.
And then Alanis tweeted commented on it and said some other punny thing.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
And then-
that's cool.
And then Weird Al commented, said, "Hey, stay in your own lane."
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Oh man. I went to an Ani DeFranco concert. It was like an outdoors festival somewhere. Yeah, it was an interesting vibe for sure.
Well,
I got some glances ascances.
She's the concert that I was that was not a concert that we needed any like a front pit crew. So I was just working one of like the side doors, basically, just making sure that nobody like
Jumped in.
trying
or
to
whatever.
trying to sneak back. And so I was like on the
Yeah.
side of the stage, side door kind of thing, just to make sure if anybody did try to like climb up on stage or whatever, that was my job,
Yeah.
So, but it was very respectful, but there was a lot of people that were like, it was like, yeah, I mean, it was, they were buying her t-shirts there and then like putting and like, but Xing them out with black electrical tape or whatever. I was like, you're spending $40 on a
What year was it?
t-shirt. Oh,
like in protest.
yeah, because because she was an icon for them, and then it was just like, oh, it was just a show, to like
Right.
gain, whatever. And I don't know. And we were spoke to just about the possibility that there would be like a, but it was like, and it wasn't like a large portion of the crowd by any means.
Yeah.
You know, it was,
Yeah.
it wasn't like they were rioting or anything like
Right.
that. It was weird, but
It's an interesting thing.
really good concert.
Yeah.
Like super good.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was back when I worked at a record store, and so I listened to her music all the time. And so it was like, it was just like on one of those things that it was, because it was a very indie record store.
I could just
So-
see you as the Jack Black in a record store.
It was a good job. It was fun. It was a fun job to have. The best part of the job was first crack at the used CDs. That was the, so when people brought in CDs, and watching the skateboard punks who just recently, who skateboarded over to our store, because we were like kind of across this main thoroughfare from Best Buy and Media Play, and there was another big box and at a Target. And they would get over there, they take off their backpacks and they take out those big plastic things that the CDs used to come in, because to prevent them.
Yeah.
And they would be out there and they'd have a hammer and they'd be breaking those out in front of our store.
We
So
leave
they
our
could-
garbage here.
So they could bring in their stolen CDs still in shrink wrap to sell to us as used CDs. And my unscrupulous boss would actually tell them, hey, so and so is selling pretty good. I'll give you top dollar for those if you bring them. And so they, because like it was maximum $5,
Right.
$6 if it was a popular disc and it was still in shrink. They get $6. And so yeah, they'd like, well, what do you want? You want like, you want 4 ACDCs and whatever.
Engelbert Humperdinck all
Yeah,
day.
And then
$3.
bring them back and
$3.
just
CDs.
yeah, just I remember, and then he'd immediately just take the in shrink, he'd slap the $18.99 sticker on it and put it on his shelf.
Yeah.
Just
It's part of doing business.
I don't know. It was
So I'm running an event at Gen Con this year.
I
Oh,
saw
wow,
that.
yeah.
It's because you knew I wouldn't be there. That's why.
Yeah, that's why we don't like you, Evan. What's the
You found
event?
me out,
Matt?
Evan.
It's
I don't
always
sign
about-
up
it's
for
always
events,
about
but I
me.
will crash it.
Is that thing with
Just
you
so
and
you know.
Daryl? Is that what you're
It's
talking
always about.
Lance won't buy a ticket, but he'll
about?
show up.
He'll show.
They'll let
Oh.
me in. Do you know who I am?
Should be fun.
Yeah, it looks cool. I wish I was there. I've
Night is a Friday.
by all accounts, Daryl Andrews is a fun dude to hang out with.
Yeah. What's that, Aldi?
Is it Friday night?
7 to 10, Punch Bowl
It's all
Social.
up in the air still about Gen Con. We'll
All
see.
right.
It's more no than yes, but you never know. Might show up.
Why would you go?
You never yes.
The film, or
What's that?
why would you go the film, or
Oh no.
no? Just
We're done with that.
okay. Yeah, I figured that.
Yeah. We're done with the filming. It would just be for fun, actually.
Okay.
Was this even the grungiest figures offer VIP ticks for their usually chairs. You should check into the next time. So I think I may have told the story before, but I still remember Nirvana concert in Minneapolis, St. Paul. I don't remember what the opening bands were to save my life. I think it was like Screaming Trees, and this is like maybe 9 months before he killed himself, like less than a year.
Screaming Weasels.
Yeah, no, it was Screaming Trees. It was like a couple of Seattle bands, Screaming Trees and
Yeah.
whatever. But I remember,
Fuzzy,
and it was like,
Fuzzy Nipples or whatever.
and there was no general admission tickets. There were like tickets for the floor, and then they had, and there were these contraptions. These. I think I know I've told you guys this story, and I apologize for telling you again. But basically, there were these contraptions, these plastic strips that had a lock, so they could lock these folding chairs into these spots, and then those strips were like like, I don't know how they worked, but they were like, they were locked into place as well. So the chairs were there and they had numbers and everything. And so I'm like, like I said, I don't remember who the first two bands were. And this is like a, 20-30,000 person arena kind of thing. And I had floor tickets or whatever. But I remember I was sitting there and I was like, man, it's like, well, at least, concert's good. And then the first band was, and Screaming Trees was one of the bands. I think they were like the first one. They weren't even like the second one. But Screaming Trees had a couple good albums. But anyway, regardless. And I remember like there's that lull where like the second band gets done, and then there's that weird like, interminable wait, for the main band. But I remember you were sitting there and like everybody's kind of, the lights come on and everybody's kind of milling about. Do I have time to like, I don't want to miss the open, but do I have time to like, make it to like get a beer and then race back here and it'll be time, and just everybody's kind of having it on or trying to decide what the next process is going to be. And then of course there's that moment where like the lights go down and like the crowd starts cheering a little bit, and then like you're kind of waiting, and there's again that weird interminable wait as you're sitting there. And then I think it was Lithium, I think was what they opened up with, if you know the Nirvana song. And then like they opened up and like all of a sudden like lights come on, and then like they start playing the song, and all of a sudden and everybody's like, yeah, and then in the background I can hear this, and I look and people are just taking the chairs and everybody's just ripping the chairs off the floor one by one. It was insane. And then they made this giant pile of folding chairs that was just off to one corner. And then they turned like, and like, it was like, what are you going to do? You get like 5,000 people, sitting on the floor, and it was just like, and everybody was just, and I just remember like trying to like be in like up close and being in kind of the pit or whatever and enjoying the thing. But like the strips that held the chairs down, nobody could get those up. So you're constantly tripping over those, like, cause they stuck up a little bit, and I must have twisted my ankle like 7 or 8 times, but yeah, that was, they tried. I will say they absolutely tried to have a seated floor for a Nirvana concert. Didn't work. But what do you do?
I might lose power.
You might lose power.
Yeah, starting to flicker a little bit, and it's like probably like 6 inches or 7 inches of snow outside. So
We're getting your foot tonight,
a foot.
I think.
I'm
I'm
getting
supposed
nada.
to fly out in the morning. I don't know if our
Better check that. I've heard a lot of stuff got canceled.
Yeah.
My buddy's daughter oh shoot, I forget what she's on the US minors curling team, like the gold medal, like literally like
That's awesome.
like yeah, and the world finals are in Germany, and like he's supposed to leave tomorrow with his daughter to go to Germany, and they ain't getting out.
Why not happening from Chicago? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and he's just like, he's like, I wish I, how would I have known? I should have scheduled it a day early, right?
Yeah.
So he's, I hope they get to go. I mean, I hope it figures out. But I mean, because like, yeah, I mean, like literally, it's like it's just bonkers. Like her and the other 3 girls on their team are just, I watch them. I mean, it's just like, I've tried curling. That's not easy. Hey, Canadian guy, have you ever gone curling, Matthew?
Not all Canadians know how to curl, Lance. Okay.
They should.
man.
It's
I have not. I did see somebody in Alberta made a outdoor crokinole
With curling
Uh,
studies. Yeah.
rink with they use curling stones, curling
That's
rocks,
cool.
Oh, really? That's cool.
and like literally fucking trunks, tree trunks.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't think about the size. Yeah, wow.
So I lied. It's-
Did they still have the whole one cheek roll then too?
What?
The curling is you got to have one cheek
Oh,
on the
is it?
chair, you know, so you can't like
Curling or crokinole?
crokinole. Sorry, crokinole. Yeah. So I'm just saying.
So I lied. We're getting 2 inches tomorrow. So.
Yeah.
Man, typical
Hey,
man.
that's what your wife said.
It's like 5 feet.
Typical
It's
man.
5 feet.
5 feet.
It was the
fish
metric
was
conversion
7.
that screwed me up.
Yeah.
So I'm heading out to. I told Evan this the other day, but I'm heading out to LA in a couple of weeks for
Oh
a
yeah, fancy man
party.
party. Fancy
Party.
man.
Partake.
One of the Critical Role anniversary party.
Yeah, I think the invite got lost in the mail for me. I'm not sure
Yeah,
what happened
they-
to that one.
I'm sure you can crash like Lance will.
They're sending a car.
Yeah, I just sent the car. Where's my car?
So, the invite, I accepted. I booked my hotel, I booked the flight, and then I looked at the invite. It said, "Dressy cocktail attire,
Mhm.
dress to impress." I'm like, what the fuck is cocktail attire?
It's like a short red something.
I look it up.
Yeah,
It's like-
little black dress. And
It's
Yeah.
a suit, basically, right?
yeah, basically,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a suit.
It's not quite a black tie,
Oh.
but yeah.
I don't have a suit that fits me
You
right
don't
now.
need to wear a suit. No way. It's LA. No way.
I got fitted for a custom suit yesterday.
Did
Oh,
you?
jeez. Well, this is
I
gonna be
hope
an
you're
expensive trip.
overdressed. I hope
Good
you're
for you,
overdressed. That'd
Matt.
be amazing.
Every man should have a suit.
Do you have any +1 on that on those invites?
Only my spouse, but she wouldn't be caught dead there. So
Only a spouse?
yeah.
That's
Spouse-
what they said on the
Yeah, let's lock
invitation.
down.
Only a spouse.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm assuming they're inviting a lot of people. So
Yeah.
it's funny. At first, I got the invite. I'm like, is this like a fan thing? Like,
Right.
I'm like, this is just spam. No. And then my friend there, he's like, no, it's legit. Like, oh crap, okay. And I was talking to Giselle about it. I'm like, I don't know if I'm not gonna. Obviously, I can't go. She's like, why can't you go? Maybe you should think about it. So
Maybe you should think about it.
I'm really excited. It's
Sounds awesome.
gonna be fun.
I want to go to a fancy cocktail party.
But
in a fancy
now I'm
cocktail
worried.
dress.
Now I'm worried
Oh,
because I was on a meeting with them today, and I was just chatting with them, and they're all excited that I'm coming. Great. I was talking, I'm like, yeah, I got a suit. And she's like, well, there probably will be some people with suits there. I'm like, wait, what? Hold on.
Cocktail attire is not a suit. I would never wear a suit. I've been to many cocktail attires. I've never worn a suit ever. But
No.
yeah, but I don't dress up. I mean, I don't. I feel like jeans and probably a collared shirt would probably be fine.
Well, I'm going to
Yeah.
be wearing a houndstooth jacket and
Nice.
navy pants.
Well, you'll be dressed to impress there for
Is,
sure.
is houndstooth similar?
Please
to
take a picture.
herringbone?
Similar to what, Evan?
Herringbone? What is houndstooth?
No, houndstooth is this.
Seersucker.
I
I know
had
the
a-
words, but
I
I
had
don't know what any of
seersucker
them mean.
This is houndstooth.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Lance might have to turn on. Oh, it's
Oh no, it's good. Matt Paquette.
Matt Paquette. How kind
This
is
is
a
not-
That's
herringbone?
houndstooth.
Or not
That's
herringbone?
houndstooth.
That's cool.
It's a tessellation.
Okay. Yeah.
Tessellation.
Is it a fine houndstooth or is it a very wide houndstooth?
Unfortunately, it is a fine houndstooth.
Oh, that's good though.
No, I
But
wanted,
you want it to be wide. I mean, look at the picture of the guy with the wide one. It looks silly.
no, I didn't want. I wanted like quarter inch, third of an inch,
Yeah.
but this is like micro, so this is like eighth of an inch.
Well, make sure to give Lincoln a call if you have time.
I've already talked to him.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Gonna meet up.
hopefully. I don't
That's
know. I
fine.
got to figure out what's going on.
You looking forward to it, Matt?
Oh, big time. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Scott, has Lincoln and them been to that Scum and Villainy bar down on Hollywood?
The what?
Scum and Villainy bar.
It's the greatest
don't
collection of
know.
scum and
Maybe.
villainy in the entire
Be interesting.
galaxy.
They made it look like the Scum and Villainy Cantina. And they sell like
Very possible. I'm not sure.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Skywalker wines down there. It's like one of the few places you
Ooh.
get that.
I
And
don't
booze.
think they really go out that often.
Yeah, I was just curious. I think that'd be
What's up,
kind of cool to see.
What's up, Forrest? Is that a
Hey.
Shaq, is that a Shaq shirt?
Nah, this is LeBron.
Oh, all right. That's fair.
No, it's not fair. It's correct.
So, man, how long are you going to be in LA?
I'm getting there on the 9th and I'm leaving on the 12th.
3 days.
I'm taking the red eye home.
Okay.
That should be interesting.
So you
Who
got
else is
plans
in- who
other
else is in
than
LA?
LA?
What about Grant Lyon? Hang out with
Oh,
that guy.
you.
Oh, he's
I
in San
didn't
Diego. Yeah.
think about that. I should
Hang out
have.
with Grant.
I'm
Be
meeting
involved.
up with a couple of buddies and yeah.
Grant's in
Yes, you
San
can have-
Diego?
I guess you can hang out with friends.
Yeah, he just posted 2 hours ago that he's doing a show.
Oh, now he's in San Diego. I thought you meant he lived there.
They have not, but they've driven by it.
Okay. I think that'd be pretty cool to walk into that if it's set up like it looks like on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
When you come back, we'll do initials.
Initials.
The shoes.
I got a game to recommend, a video game.
A video.
I tried it earlier today. I've only tried it for an hour, granted, but it is so freaking cool. It's coming out in 5 days. It's called You Are President. And so the base, it has like a real quick, like 2-minute story about how you were a kid and you grew up and you wanted to run and then you ran for president. Now you're president. Just drops you straight in president.
Okay.
And then it asks you a whole bunch of moral questions to find out where you align party wise. And then it asks you a whole bunch of other moral questions about what kind of president you want to be. And then you set like goals, like, oh, do you want to do healthcare? Do you want to do defense? Do you want to do nukes? Like whatever you want to do politically, you could do. And then it has like this really weird sense of humor. Like it's very tongue in cheek. Like the first issue you deal with is like this massive strike of like video gamers, but it's funny. Like your assistants are actually cardboard cutouts that like waddle up to you, and then when they waddle back, you see the back of them. It's bizarre, but it's a really deep political game where like every day is like a new like real issue. Like in Ohio, there's like this big bad thing that's happening. How are you going to deal with it? You know, in Indochina or whatever, like there's this going on. What is your reaction to this? And every single response you make, moves up or down this certain subsegment of people. So maybe it's like the industry people or, the politicians, like your political party, because you have to keep your political party happy. You have to keep the citizens happy so you can get reelected. You have to keep big business happy. And it's really interesting. If you played The King's Dilemma, which had an amazing story, but it had that aspect where like you had to like balance things. It feels like that, but like a million times better. It feels like the decisions you make actually impact things that make sense. And it's really cool. Like I ended up completely losing in like the hour because I tried to push for Medicare for all. And so I just did that hardcore, but then I pissed off big business and I completely like crashed the economy. And like the next time I play, I'm just going to go like the heavy nuclear option because that's a choice you could do. And I'm going to try and take over South America just to see what happens.
Why
But
you pick on South America?
it feels
Right.
like but there's so much more. Like you can spend your time either fixing America or you can be spying on other countries. And it's like, it is a fascinating game. And I can't wait to explore it more. It feels like a sandbox political choose your own adventure game. It is something else. Highly recommend checking this one out. You Are President. I want to play it right now. It's so intriguing. If you like politics, because there's also going to be different scenarios.
Does it feel like there's agenda behind it? Like as far as like, are all paths viable, or is it obviously like,
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be playing a game in the background, and I'm going to try and go in the Republican Party. I'm going to see what it's like playing the other side. I didn't notice much of a bias one way or the other.
Yeah.
Because once again, the humor is very tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Like there was one news report about how the Chinese president was actually, an android, and how do I react to that? And it's like it's bizarre humor at some points, but it is one to check out. It is a really unique game. So yeah, that's the game that I played today that I
On
just want to talk
Xbox?
about. No, it's on Steam. It's coming out in
What's it called?
5 days. You are president.
How are you playing it early?
Because I'm a reviewer, Scott. I get them codes now. Those 1 hour
Get them
reviews I've been
codes.
doing, man. Like those are
Oh,
really because it's me playing a video game for an hour, and I wake up in the morning and I'll scoop up 5 or 6 subscribers. Just scoop it up. And then if the video becomes an evergreen, like the way YouTube Shorts works is so weird. Like if I showed you my numbers, you'd be like, what the hell? Like I've got a video with like, yeah, it's just weird. But like if you can get an evergreen video, it's a consistent subscriber gainer too. And it's,
I
yeah.
hate YouTube Shorts. Can't fast forward them.
Yeah.
Like I basically now avoid all the shorts just because I just don't like the format. I mean, just for me personally. I mean, nothing against it. I mean, it's just
I think it's an age thing. Like I play a lot of Apex Legends now because I do a lot of Apex Legends content, and I'll talk about the channel. I'll talk about YouTube Shorts because everybody
it's for
just
short
assumes-
attention span people.
Yeah, it's the younger crowd. Like because they're like, yeah, I do a lot of I do. It's always I'm embarrassed by how much TikTok I do, and then they also do YouTube Shorts on top of the TikTok, which and like I'll get to the stuff. Like some of these kids are spending.
The name of the
hours.
game is You Are President.
You are on TikTok.
No, I'm not touching TikTok. That's for losers. Sorry, I am your president. I apologize.
You are. I was like trying to.
president.
I'm like Googling this. I can't find it anywhere.
My bad. I am your
You are.
president.
You're good. You're good at drumming up followers for this.
I'm super happy about that.
I'm telling you, this game. I think this game is going to be a freaking hit if I go through because it feels like a sandbox. Like I just want to roll. Remember like GTA 3 when you first played, you're just like, I'm just going to do whatever the hell I want. Like I feel like this is the political version of that, and it's so bizarre.
Can you launch nukes?
Yes, there is a whole
on your own country.
I don't like. I've only played one.
I
game.
want Civil
I
War.
was like,
Damn it!
What's the limitation?
I don't know. I'm gonna play actually in the background right now because it's all text based. That's the only thing I don't like. It's a lot of reading,
dude.
Oh,
You're talking
okay.
no.
It has great artwork too.
Put yourself in the shoes of the TikTok generation. There's no fucking way people are gonna read that shit.
Yeah.
They're not. Gonna
No. It's not like text based. It's more like RPG choose your own adventure style thing. But it is a lot of reading.
Oh no, forget it. Not happening.
I still think it's gonna be super popular.
That's a fatal flaw.
I don't know. We'll see.
What is your definition of super popular?
Can you stream it? Can you show us for a minute?
I can
do
get
one
that
thing?
set up. We'll do that after initials. I'll get it set up during initials. Look at that, Lance. I love you. There. Let's. How good was that segue for you, Lance? What's the letters? Drop them digits. What are they? I can't see them.
RD.
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 RDRR.
RD.
Oh, what's that?
Just as a reminder, you can pick up your own copy at initialsgame.com.
You got yours yet, Scott?
Nope.
Oh man.
The streak continues.
Well, maybe someday it'll show up.
It won't, and you should
I'm
just.
just curious why I'm not on a list that didn't get. I mean, whatever. I don't care.
I think you do, Scott. I think you do.
I just don't. I don't want to cut out an hour of my time to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
It takes you an hour to write an email saying,
Yeah,
"Dear."
but then I got a response. If there's a response,
back
I
and
gotta do
forth.
something,
Yeah.
and it's
You
I'm
just need to
forcing-
say, "Do you know who I am?" That's
Dear so and so, I never got my
Oh.
copy of my backer number. This is my address. Please send me my shit.
Yeah.
Done. You cover all the bases. They shouldn't have to respond to you at that point. Anyway, here we go. Initials are R D. God bless America.
RD.
R as in Robert. D as in dead.
No.
DED dead.
Yeah. Did you have to say dead? All right, here we go. An iconic one appeared in a series of books in the early 20th century. Often thrashed, shook, or thrown.
Aldi.
Aldi.
Ragdoll.
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 That's a great song.
Everybody in
I wish Barry lived in America
was not a
because
good
right
song.
now he would be playing that. He'd get down the guitar and he'd start strumming it.
All right, here we go. Number one, referenced in a 1996 Rage Against the Machine song. Connected to Treat Yourself on NBC's Parks and Recreation. Appeared in an iconic 1990 Julia Roberts film.
Matt, no.
Meta?
Oh no.
Nobody knew.
Connected to Prada, Coach, and Versace. Is around 2 miles long.
Matt,
Matt,
Rodeo Drive.
Rodeo Drive.
Yep.
I was about to
And,
say
and from
Sit
Forrest,
down.
I would have accepted Rodeo Drive.
Oh,
on Rodeo Drive.
I always
Yes.
fuck with you, Washington.
I earned it.
There we go. Oh, Kabuki Kid said, Ragdoll, good song, just not from Lance.
I
I
didn't
want a
get
big
any
band
hate for my sweet body dance.
All right.
All right.
Connected to Good Times.
Good times.
Mentions Holiday Inn. Connected to Rosie in 1998's The Wedding Singer. Featured, now what you hear is not a test.
Force.
Forrest.
Rapper's Delight. I'm
Rappers.
rapping to the beat. And
That's what I was
me,
trying
the
to
groove,
remember.
and your friends are gonna try to move your feet. See, I am. Oh man, I love that.
That was
song.
on Good Times?
I used to listen to that song on repeat in high school until I learned it.
To the hippity hip hop.
All right, here we go. Connected to Madonna's Like a Virgin. Released in 1992. Featured K. Billy's Super Sounds of the 70s.
Aldi.
Aldi.
Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs. Yeah.
Mm.
And that was like, if you know the movie, that gives it away immediately.
Yeah.
Why the fuck do I have to be Mr. Pink?
Yeah, debated tipping. Featured the colors white, orange, blonde, pink, blue, and brown.
Mhm.
Harvey Keitel.
Look, I'll just be Mr. Pro. You're Mr. Pink. Why can't we pick our own name? Because everybody will just talk about how they want to be Mr. Black, and nobody knows anybody, and nobody will stand down. Here we go. Once connected to Lucifer. Was born Jacob Cohen. Was a soccer coach in 1992. Was Thornton Mellon in 1986.
Aldi.
Aldi.
Rodney Dangerfield.
Yep. My
Ladybugs.
Ladybugs. Yeah.
Ladybugs.
I know I've shared it, but I love the fact that like when he showed up for his very first day at for Caddyshack, it's the scene where he pulls up in the car with the guy and he was taking the pictures and he just starts riffing on everything because they just told him just here's the kind of what you want to do, but he just was able to riff on everything and then And then he got done with the scene and he went up to Chevy and he was just sweating bullets. And he's like, what's wrong? He's like, I'm dying out there. Nobody's laughing. And he's like, they can't. It's a movie.
I'm dying out there. Nobody's laughing.
Michelle has never seen Caddyshack.
What's that?
Michelle has never seen Caddyshack.
Has she?
I mean,
Gotta fix that.
it's
Does it hold
seen it in
up?
a long,
I don't know. I
long
need to
time.
watch it. I haven't watched
I
it in
don't
a
know if
long
it holds up. Yeah.
it is. I mean,
Yeah, I think I'd watch
is-
it first, Scott.
There are no. I mean, you could watch it, but I mean, I don't. I think it.
I don't know the movie.
I mean, a gentleman never asks a woman's age, so I'm not going to ask. But I know she's close to around the same age as you. So
Yeah, she's my age.
yeah, from the same era, right?
Yeah.
So I think like she'll be able to understand it that way. I mean, it is a very disjointed movie. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just like, there's just scenes where it just makes no sense or there's no like connection. It bounces around weird, right? You know, so I did also like about that movie where they got done with the movie and they're like, we don't have a single scene that has Chevy Chase and Bill Murray in it at the same time. And so they went back and they just had them do the whole scene
on
of them
purpose?
running into each other in the shack, you know, where he's sitting there drinking the weird whiskey and doing drugs.
I thought they like hated each other.
They did. And that's why they're like, well, we got to have one scene with them and they are the, yeah. I mean, I read a Chevy Chase thing about it, which, you know, I mean, he is one of the most thoroughly dislikable people. I mean, he's just one of those guys that just thinks he's hot shit. And well, he was, right? He was the funniest guy in America for a few years, but he talked about basically every single day on Caddyshack was just everybody just doing cocaine all day long.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was like, and nobody wasn't. It
No.
was just everybody was tripping all day long.
It was like the music industry. They used to budget that into the budget.
Yeah.
It'd be like 200 grand or whatever for coke and booze and all that.
Yeah, it just but anyway, here we go. Often features gifts. Commonly follows practice. Featured in 2008's 27 Dresses. Commonly involves immediate family. Often features speeches or toasts.
Also, Aldi.
Aldi.
Rehearsal dinner.
Rehearsal dinner is
Nice.
correct.
Been to a
Where
few.
was
I
my
don't
Yeah, I was
know.
going
Right,
dress
right.
rehearsal. That's the
I know, I
other way around.
Yeah.
And then it sort of popped.
Yeah, yeah. That's correct though. Rehearsal dinner. I had a good rehearsal dinner. It was good.
Is that a way?
And then like there was
But,
the
no.
place we ate at had a minimum for like the dinner, and we didn't invite enough people, so we missed the minimum. And they were like, well, we're gonna charge you whatever it was, like $2,000.
Bring 5
And I
bottles of wine. Do your best.
Yeah, that was basically it. I got there and they're like, well, we're gonna charge you, so you can buy some bottles of wine. And I was just like, well, we had to like make up like $170. So it was just like, all right, so I just bought like 6 bottles of wine.
Yeah, shot of tequila.
Yeah. Here we go. Appeared in 2003's Elf.
Oh,
Connected to a death in 1972's The Godfather. Evan.
Wasn't that Robert Duvall?
yeah. Good
Was
guess.
Wait, what was the second clue?
Connected to a death in 1972's The Godfather. Matt.
Robert De Niro.
Nah, he was in the
He was
second
in
one.
Godfather Part 2. sir.
Yeah,
I've never
he was the
seen any of
second.
them.
Jim Carrey emerged from one in 1998's The Truman Show. Connected to workplace turnover. These rotate. Last clue. Commonly found on the first floor of large buildings.
Aldi.
Aldi.
Reception desk?
Forrest, Barry,
In French, the first floor is called the rez-de-chaussée.
Three.
That's RD.
Ben oui,
Two.
c'est ça.
1.
Force.
Forrest, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Oh.
1.
Rich dudes.
Barry, 5, 4,
You got this one,
Three.
Lance.
2, 1. That'd be revolving door.
Ah,
Revolving
okay.
door.
Don't see many of those on the second floor.
That's true.
Those only show up on the rez-de-chaussée. So
Mhm.
therefore,
All right, here we go. Number 1. First created in the late 19th century.
Eight.
Debuted in February of 2019. Often wooden. Featured in The Man Who Knew Too Little. The first word is sometimes nesting or stacking.
Matt,
Go ahead.
Russian doll.
Russian
Mm.
doll is correct. Yes.
I had the doll, I just couldn't come up with the first word.
Huh.
I was
There you
thinking
go.
nesting doll.
Yeah. Mm, mm.
all
All right, here we go. Sometimes found in NASCAR.
NASCAR.
Found outdoors. Can last hours.
Evan.
Yep.
Race day.
And most famously connected to baseball. Commonly requires a tarp.
Matt,
Oh.
Ooh, I'm gonna give this one to Matt.
Yeah, that's right.
I heard
Forrest.
myself first.
Forrest.
Wait, we have to do a
I
replay.
didn't even
Rain
hear
delay
Forrest.
is correct.
Yeah, you never know. You
Are
never
these
know. They might
harder?
both get it wrong.
These seem harder than normal.
It's just a bad
Is
letters.
Barry, is your microphone working?
No,
is this thing on?
I unplugged it.
Here we go.
Amy Kabuki.
All right, here. Debuted in the 1800s.
Wait, you're giving it to Matt?
Yeah, I'm giving it to Matt.
There should be a replay. What? I said that I heard myself first.
But he already said the answer. Now it's too late. So
I fucking knew. Come on.
You can apply.
Come on. You didn't
Well,
go to
fine.
the tape.
All right,
No,
all right.
no,
all
it's
right,
okay,
all
whatever.
right. No,
It's
no,
fine.
no, no. You
Watch
guys
the
that
tape.
stink. I'm not going to deal with it.
When I
Kabuki
heard myself
kid.
first and then heard you, I thought you were going to check.
No.
Whatever. That's
Kabuki
fine.
kid,
Move
please
on.
check. Please
No,
check.
move on. Come on.
Oh,
I didn't
moving
even.
on?
I didn't hear
we're
him
moving
say.
on. Okay. Well, I
Just
Just to
him say the answer.
clarify, I buzzed in third.
That was a distant last for sure.
let's give Forrest the point.
Move on,
Give
move
Forrest
on,
the
move
points. It's only fair.
yeah, I'm okay with that.
No.
All right.
I didn't even hear you say the answer because I thought we were going to the tape.
Yeah, I just heard names. I didn't hear the answer.
I heard the answer. So there you go. Here we go. Debuted in the 1800s.
Okay.
Mentioned in the movie Convoy. Commonly features black and white eyes. Has a famous connection to Sesame Street.
Forrest.
Forrest.
Rubber ducky, you're
You're
the
the one. You
Rubber
make
ducky.
bath time lots of fun. Rubber
Rubber
ducky,
ducky,
I'm awfully fond of you.
I was listening to that yesterday.
Rubber ducky, joy of joys. When I squeeze you, you make noise. Here we go. Debuted in 2013. Primarily set in Los Angeles and New York City. Features celebrity clients. Jon Voight won a Golden Globe for his work. Once had the Showtime record for biggest premiere. Final clue. Liv Schreiber plays this professional fixer in
Matt.
the TV. Go ahead.
Ray Donovan.
Ray Donovan is
All right.
correct.
I knew it. I just couldn't remember the name.
Yeah,
I
I've
don't
never
even know
seen
what
I remember
it.
the
Any of
first
that was
season.
about.
The first season of that was like really good, and then it was like
What show?
Ray Donovan.
Ray Donovan.
Oh, that's the show name.
Yeah, it was. It
Yeah.
was the first season was awesome, and then it just went down the 12.
Yeah, I didn't.
I
see
didn't even make it through the first season.
Yeah, understandable.
No
I know.
reason.
I know a lot
Saw
of people
one
that couldn't get
episode.
through the first season. So here we go. Created by American Steve Henson. Commonly connected to Wings. Connected to Doritos since 1980s. Often found in bottles.
Barry.
Berry.
Red dye.
And
That's a good guess, though.
Good one.
That was a really good guess.
connected to Paul Newman.
How about
Final clue.
oh, no.
This Hidden Valley classic is commonly found on
Evan.
Aldi.
Ranch. Sure. it's like-
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I called Aldi.
I know he knows
Ranch
it.
dressing.
Yeah.
Okay. Making sure.
Well,
everybody
I
knows
I
it.
had one.
what we got here is a failure to communicate.
Finally had one. Aldi scooped me.
All right, here we go. Aldi in the lead with one.
Mm.
By one. In leading
Cool.
by one. Yeah. So with two left.
They're hard.
Started in Chicago in the 1930s. Features jams. Commonly connected to punk culture. Featured in 2009's Whip It.
Matt,
Matt,
roller derby.
Mm.
roller derby.
1 second too late.
1 second.
I dated a woman who was in roller derby, and that is such an interesting collection of individuals. Like
I-
it
I
is.
was going to just say the exact same thing. I also dated
yeah.
a person who is a roller derby person.
That was
I-
fun rolling with that crowd to bars. It was just, it's unreal. It's just weird. It's a whole different thing.
I went on one date and I didn't have enough tattoos.
Just one?
Neither did I.
I was too clean.
I was
I
a
don't
pretty
know if
boy.
it's. I don't know if it's the same in the States, but here in Canada, roller derby events are not the banked things that you see.
Yeah, there's
They're
different
just
styles.
Flat.
Yeah.
I just rewatched
Whip it.
Whatchamadig. No,
Rollerball.
Rollerball, like the original, not that horse shit remake. that
Jonathan
they did.
E.
Whoa. Those are
Jonathan
fighting
E,
words.
baby.
Those are fighting words.
Fighting words, damn you.
With
Rollerball is a good
James, Caan.
James Caan, man.
James Caan. I mean, that is such a good movie. Rollerball is. I mean, just
Yeah.
oh,
But did the first one have LL Cool J?
Or the guy from American Pie.
3% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Uh,
Okay,
And-
I
and-
remember
and-
liking that movie.
I remember watching that movie as it like in whatever it was. I was in junior high, and I was like, oh my god, this movie is just like. I mean, it was like it was violent, and it was like disturbingly violent. Like literally like. I mean, when they, like the whole thing of the aspect of that the game is like super hyper violent and everything like that. But then the fact that like there's that moment where the team, they go after one of their guys and they don't kill him, but they paralyze him, or they do something, and then they grab the one guy on their team and he's unconscious, and the guy pulls up in the motorcycle and he starts spinning the wheels, and so they just basically just shove the guy's head into the wheel of the motorcycle to kill him. It's just like, I remember as a kid I was like, this isn't like just I'm shooting guns and people are flying away and dying. This is like really grim.
That was like the curb stomp and
Yeah,
yeah.
that's like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's things like that I just don't want to watch. I know it's
Yeah.
fake. I know it's not real. I just don't
Mhm.
want to watch that. It's like,
yeah.
it's
Real
like yeah. it's like the in Saving Private Ryan, when the two guys are fighting all by themselves, and the one like stabs him in the chest. It's like, I'll just skip past that. I don't want to watch
Never
that
seen it.
again. Yeah.
Ever
just- I
seen
don't
Saving
wanna-
Private Ryan?
Oh, so good.
I'm in the heart.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, there's a couple of
It's a
moments in
rough
that
scene.
movie. We'll just skip by that. I never have to watch that again. I never have to watch that again. Here we go.
Here we go.
Bring it up.
Final one.
Final
Aldi and Matt tied. Seems
No,
like we've
I'll
done
make a
we've
comeback.
been down this road before.
This is my week. This is my
We
week.
need someone to take. We need to end in a tie.
We need an Anthony. We need an
Anthony.
Anthony to come back and just control everything.
Destroy us.
Clue number one was an Australian method actor in 2008. Was crime reporter Paul Avery in 2007. Connected to Charlie Chaplin.
Matt,
Matt,
Robert Downey.
Robert Downey. You are correct.
Good
Your
job.
name is Junior.
Yeah.
There's an
Um,
asterisk on the game somehow for some reason now. I don't know why.
yeah, see,
Oh.
that's why.
Oh,
There's not-
we can go back and read. We can go back and.
She said you guys were almost exactly
Watch the
like she
tape,
went back.
watch the tape.
Okay.
Tiebreaker.
It was up to me.
Fine,
It was
you
up
get a
to
half
me
point
to,
each one.
No, he called your
uh,
name. It's fine. You got it.
Yeah, you're right. It is fine, and you can get over it. So
It's like the Super Bowl, man.
I got over it. I told you.
so funny story. So I'm having my board game weekend this weekend.
Mhm.
Which for to have the fun and what have you.
Beards with beards.
And Anthony Riccano is also having a board game weekend with his friends, and so I sent him a message. I was like, I'll wait for my car.
Wait for the car.
I'm gonna wait for the car. He hasn't responded to me yet, though. Just like NordVPN also ghosting me after I sent my offer for a pittance.
What is this Earth game?
Oh yeah, I'm in my first game of it online. But, like,
I don't know, but everybody's losing their mind over it.
yeah, all of a
apparently.
sudden I started hearing
What's
all about it.
good about it?
I don't know yet. I've drafted some cards and played one suboptimal turn, I think.
Oh, it's
But
a board game.
basically it looks like you're drafting these cards and then playing these cards on your board, and there's 4 main actions, and you can soup up your cards, can bolster one of the 4 main actions, and then when you take that action, depending on your tableau, it's either like super good or kind of basic, just depending on like the strategic route you went as far as like which ones you bolstered. That's what it looks like so far.
Hmm.
But you're like building an ecosystem kind of thing.
I didn't back it.
I didn't even hear of it until
Yeah, I never.
yeah,
I don't think I backed it. Is it just releasing,
I think so.
or is it? Can you buy it?
I don't know.
If
I
only
played
there
a
was
fun game on-
website.
Played it online. You played it on Tabletop Simulator or something?
No, it's on BGA.
Oh, it's on PGA.
Yeah. Earth.
Yeah, I mean, it's so weird. I mean, it's like it's for me.
Oh, that's
it's,
Connor McGooey's game. I
well,
must
no,
have,
and yeah,
I did back it.
Oh, okay, good.
I just
then
don't
guess
have my
the
copy.
The backers haven't got it yet.
Or Scott.
so for me in this stuff, it's like
Don't
I
they
never
who
know.
he
I
is?
never know what.
I have it up if you want me to share my screen.
I guess I wasn't talking, Evan.
Oh,
Thanks.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Sounds good to me.
I mean, I just like I've never understood it. It's just the guy who hosts the show, he's talking. Just talk over him.
Who needs it?
Yeah, no, I will firmly believe I have no clue what people like anymore because like I played Ark Nova and did not enjoy it. I was just kind of like, this is way.
Yeah,
too
it's a good game. Ark Nova is a good game.
I was
It does.
just
It
kinda
is.
like,
It just it is this.
okay, well,
But I mean, if you don't see that, then I don't know what to say. You know, like
good night,
maybe
Matthew.
Good night, Matthew.
Practice up
Hey.
that guitar, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see why people enjoy it, but I'm
okay.
like,
Okay. I thought you were saying you didn't see like. why
no, I
people-
mean, but I just don't. I mean, I'm just like
yeah, you don't
I-
enjoy it. Yeah, I get it.
and I just don't like anything anymore. Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't like games.
I,
It's okay.
yeah,
You'll
it's fine.
come back to it someday. I think it was like that for a while at one point
We'll
in
see.
the early 2000s.
Yeah, I think it happens. Plus, he's joined the New World Order.
He's joining the.
I got that game pulled up if you want to see how that works. The that president, game.
president
If you want to see if we just want to roll
Yeah.
a
Let's
president.
roll with it. Let's roll with it. Let's
Let's roll it.
All right,
make
so
let's make a. How do you? How long do the games take?
I finished the game in 40 minutes, but that's because I was a terrible president. So it's you can get a feel for it.
Yeah, just want to get a feel for it.
Yes.
All right.
See a couple of choices.
So I got to share my
Are you
screen.
going
or
to
something,
narrate
right?
it for us?
Yeah, I can read it.
It doesn't have speech.
It does not. All right, where is
That's
it? How do I share my screen?
You hit the
Ooh, can I narrate?
share
Can I
screen
narrate?
thing.
What is on that cup that you're drinking out of?
That's that's Phil. No, that's Zach Galifianakis from
between
there's a story behind that.
Hangover.
The Hangover.
Too.
the Hangover.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Hangover 2.
Yeah, man. They had the exclusive
It's
7-Eleven
back,
cups.
and we got Mike Tyson.
All right, share
And
screen.
Tiger.
Here we go.
Wait, put
I
that
just
cup.
got some Mike bites the other day.
Okay. How do is my screen sharing? Is it working?
No.
No.
All right. How do I do
Did you
this?
hear the share screen down there at the bottom?
I think so. Oh, I didn't have the share button.
There you go.
There's working. Okay.
Yep, it's working. Oh wow, you look terrible in the corner.
Oh,
So
damn,
make
fuck.
America
Oh,
great
that
again.
would-
So this is the
No, we can't play that.
why? No,
Okay.
that's just the name of the scenario.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's taking you to this point in history, pretty
I
much.
didn't like
Okay.
the look of the very first.
So
Fast.
this is the
Oh,
basic
it's-
story. That's
it's
because
a-
this is the only part that is audio. Like I said, it's the 2 minutes.
Oh.
Hey, you're a kid. You're going to become president. Hello, Mr. President. It's strange to use this title for someone other than myself. However, if you're reading this, you just won the election, became my successor. So let me welcome you to the White House. The note you're reading now is just one of many I've left for the next president. Start the tutorial pretty much. So let's get to the stuff. Let's try it out.
Skip that.
This is all tutorial stuff. So this is the main Emily. I'm going to click on this and then someone's going to come in
How come the door outline goes through the couch?
because it's indie. I don't know. Hello, Mr. President. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the White House. I am certain that your presidency will be great for America. And so I can either say, and so am I, or thank you for the kind words. I'm going to say, and so am I, because this is just all flavor.
Where are you seeing that?
Right here. Do you see this? What you're seeing right here?
No, uh-uh.
No, it's missing.
Oh, wait. You don't see any of the text?
No.
No, always use like the desktop.
What?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah, I see some stuff.
Now we see
The
it.
chief of staff.
Okay. Yeah. So I just so right now it's going to start how I answer these questions are going to start impacting my rating up in the upper left hand corner with the military, diplomacy around the world, and the economy. So I just hope that we will get along and the cooperation will bear fruit. I see we'll do what's best for the country. I'll just click that one. So it goes 20 up on politics, the strength of your party's influence and support for your action within its structure. So my political party says, hey, I'm making the right thing saying this. I understand. Yeah. We're just going through the tutorial right now.
Okay.
So what's going to happen? Oh yeah. And you can see it's just a cardboard cutout. It's very tongue in cheek. And we got another person coming in who's going to now get pretty much fill in what kind of president. I am. Here we go. The first question is, you support the death penalty. So we'll just roll this together. Yes, the punishment should fit the crime. No, it goes against our most basic human right, the right of life, or I don't have an opinion. We're going to roll. Nobody wants to play that.
You decide.
All right. I am going to roll as a hardcore, hard-fisted dictator type.
Okay.
So the death penalty should fit the crime. That is the person that I'm rolling in this game, because I went far left last time and tried to get the universal health care. Should the government build it on banking regulations and regulate the stock market? Yes, banks are responsible for the majority of financial crisis. No, this is simply an excuse to establish government control of the nation's finest markets. Or it's hard to say. No, it's simply an excuse to yada, yada, yada. That's what I'm going with here. What do you think of supplemental nutrition assistance program? No, redistribution of wealth is ineffective. We should lower the taxes instead. I think it's appropriate. It allows families to afford the most basic stuff. No, redistribution of wealth is ineffective. Let's trickle it all down.
The screen stopped updating, but
Yeah, your screen is like way behind.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. But yeah, so this
I'll keep going. Yeah,
I'll keep going. What is more important for you, social responsibility or individual
We're seeing
rights?
the death penalty thing now.
I'm going to go none of the above.
Yeah.
I would have went so late.
Bit
If
of a
a
lag.
state was to double its
Yeah, it's
electoral
weird.
votes, which state would you pick? We're going to go with Texas, obviously. Do you think because we're going to take over the South America, we're going to take over Mexico. That's the plan. That is
That's the
my
plan.
agenda. We
Or
are
blow it
going.
up South America.
No, we're going to take it over. Do you
Mexico.
think anti-discrimination laws for employment are important? Yes, they allow people to be treated equally. No, they are limiting the right of employers to hire and fire employees. I feel like I would be staunch all of big business. Should we normalize the relations with Cuba? I want to take over Cuba, so I would want to normalize it. Is that what do you think?
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Do you think that there should be a wall at the U.S.-Mexican border? No, we shouldn't divide people. Yes, the illegal migration must be stopped at all costs. It's hard to say. I'm trying to take over Mexico. I don't know if I
Right.
want to put a wall there. It's hard to say. Do you think the
What is
renewable
like
energy?
It's funny, the animation.
Yeah, like everything about this is tongue in cheek. Do you think that renewable energy in a sector we should invest in? Yes,
No.
this is a viable. No, it is
No,
non-viable
not
for
viable.
industrial purposes. Okay, cool. That's it, Mr. President. I'll pass your answers to the campaign staff. Thank you. So now it's going to come back and say that I'm a Republican. Do I agree with this? And then it will start allowing me to fill in
Is there only
what
two
kind of.
choices?
I don't know. We want to go third party.
There's no libertarian.
We'll see. I'd never tried it. I only played once as a Democrat. I rolled Democrat. Hello again, Mr. President. I've received the results from the campaign staff. Do you want to know their recommendations? Of course I do. Of course, we're going to be a jerk. Your answer to these troublesome questions have proven you to be a Republican. No, I don't agree with that outcome. I see the alternative options to show yourself a Democrat. Oh, so there's only one or the other. That is a
It's
bit
only one or the
disappointing.
other.
So we're going Republican. On
Okay.
second thought, I think I am. All right, so be it. So now what we have to do is follow the values of the party. Great. Is there anything else I should take care of? Yeah, cool stuff, tutorial stuff. Because what's going to happen is we'll get into day one, and that's when you start really making the decisions. And that's where I can show you the map, because the map is the coolest part, I think. Sure, whatever. Mr. President's private
Back in 3
notes.
minutes,
All
make
right,
sure it's
my identity, we're going to be named Lance Alaboom.
Mhm.
We are
Oh, you
serious.
got the helmet. The helmet.
We're
Oh, the helmet.
protected. So this means we're well protected.
Yeah, you're protected.
All right.
You have the helmet.
Wife Sarah.
Oh, you know
my
what? He's
wife-
hilarious.
My wife, Sarah, is a relentless woman of Russian origin, brought Cold War dynamics into the president's marriage. My daughter is a party animal and can be easily spotted at various nightclubs. My other daughter is the president's older daughter, the wife of Chester, runs a very popular blog, and I have a son-in-law who's the black sheep of the family. My favorite child, because life is not always fair, is going to be the party animal, and my presidential pet will be a shark. I think
Shark.
that fits.
Yeah.
If you were to die, what would be your last words? Finally, $15, and I press that red button. There we go. If there was a bombing attack, what would you do? Continue slurping my morning coffee, of course. I got nuts of steel. There's a last slice of pizza and 4 people wanting to eat it. What slice of pizza? What grease on my mouth? There's a new secretary in the Oval Office. Hello, Juliet. Let me show you around. Jill, Jane, Janet. I don't care. I will call you Becky. Your deaf uncle has asked you for the tickets for the Pinky Swear concert. Well, family first, here you are, Uncle Andrew. Due to his disability, I guess I may as well give him tickets for something less expensive. Sure, I'm a jerk. Areas of interest. What do I shake right hands? And climb the ladder, aim for the sky. I don't know what any of this stuff means. We're going to climb the ladder.
Yeah, climb
Vice
ladder.
President's assignment. Friendship is power. I don't quite understand what this is. I wish they explained it a little bit more. You better watch out. We're gonna go with the you better watch out.
Yeah,
The
you better
soon-to-be
watch out.
president. So secret has been revealed. The presidential candidate's kindergarten has not always been the most peaceful place on earth. Our anonymous source has informed us about the riot, which started right after the teachers banned children from bringing their own toys to the facility. So which of these is my terrible deep dark secret? The small president was decided to bring the toys anyway, and incited other children to mutiny as well. Yes, I incited a mutiny. The president has always acted as a presidential way, even in high school. He knew bringing in power is never a piece of cake and requires making some tough decisions. I'm just going to blaze through this because I want to get to the actual
Yeah, blaze through it.
questions.
Your screen is also lagged, so we're not really
Yeah,
following.
we're a few minutes behind there. Yeah.
So here I'm to the we're going to get to the stage where it says my election promise is my main goal. This is a big one. So I can build a wall. I can solve the opioid crisis, strict gun control,
Human mission to Mars.
new war on terror. I feel like that's how I'm going to be able to take over countries.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So we're
Yeah.
playing this. And then my minor goals, anti-crisis response, golden standards, which is every child knows the disabled. So, no, that doesn't sound cool. Stunningly modern.
Not
We're gonna
great,
have-
not terrible.
We're gonna go. I'm gonna go with 3, and I'm gonna start.
Stunningly modern.
Once we need to get to the juice. Here we go. Promises, don't care, and we are okay. We have quests. This is more just talking about the tutorial stuff because you're make pretty much quests are like campaign promises that you try and complete. Yes, you may leave. Let's go. Cardboard cutout gone. I think we're on to day 1, so this means just going home. Quest for the previous president told me to take it easy.
Take it easy.
And so you get a daily summary of exactly how you impacted every single one of the things in the upper left-hand corner. So I check my mail, or I can open the door. We're just going to open the door. Secretary lady. Good morning, Mr. President. Last night in Los Angeles, a rapper called Little Syrup died from an overdose of cough syrup. Rappers die almost every week. Why are we even talking about this? That's my only choice. Wow, normally there's more. He was just 19. The media has gone crazy saying that millions of teenagers are at risk. We need to do something. Okay, let's take care of this, or let's not worry about it right now. The media will soon move on to another subject. We all need these sweet big pharma billions. Yeah, we need the money. We need the money if we're going to be invading these countries. Are you sure, Mr. President? Little Syrup was extremely popular. Even my kid was crying when he found out about syrup being OD'd. That'll just cry and get over it fast. We should stay out of this. You're right. Or maybe you're right. Let's deal with it. You're right. I will screech about it then. Yeah, I can screech. Screech is the Twitter because you have your own separate Twitter account and how you manage. Yeah, that's what they do. And I feel like a nice, well-worded screech about how much we miss Little Syrup is the way to go here. But we're still going to get our pharma billions. I'll screech about it. All right, White House president. So what is your screech going to be? Serious, cool, weird, or funny? I feel like serious. Little Syrup, OD. This is serious. Let this be a lesson to us all. Cough syrup is killing our children. Something must be done. Okay, let's go with it. That's the tweet.
But that's going to piss off the big pharma.
That's true. Been sipping that shit for years now, and I ain't never died, not once, I swear. So you're getting some of the humor here. But now I go about my day, my presidency. So this is my current political views. I don't need to go here. Let's check what the email is. Good morning, Mr. President. I trust you've had a chance to familiarize yourself with decriminalization of amphetamines in workplace environment. Was it to your liking? Would you like me to bring your document for signing? So this is where I'm going to sign a bill into law. Let's do it. Let's read exactly what's going on here because we'll get pulled up the bill. And here we go. Provided that a signed or verbal bilateral agreement has been reached between the employee and the employer and the boundaries have not been breached, law enforcement has the right not to intervene in cases where a person has been reported to be under the influence of amphetamines but has not breached the law in any other way. So this is the decriminalization of amphetamines in a workplace environment. Can anybody explain that to me like I'm 5 real quick?
It means that if I hire you, there's an expectation that you will use substances to improve your performance and not get appropriate breaks or sleep.
If you have an agreement between the employee or you and the employer, like your boss, that you'll basically do speed while you're working. And if they don't care, then you won't. Like they'll just let you do it.
Evan.
And you'll not be criminal. It'll be no criminal. There's no way the law enforcement will come into that.
So we're gamifying this. Evan, I'm gonna let you take the wheel. We have the goal. We want to take over Mexico. If I want to take over Mexico, do I accept this? All right, we accept it. Boom. Grab the pen, sign it. Beep, beep, beep. Yes. Put it into law. Boom. We go. You have now acquired a new counteraction. So decriminalization of amphetamines in a workplace environment gives us +1 energy per turn. And as we'll see probably tomorrow, that allows us to start really pushing our political agenda. So today we sent out a tweet and here we go. We get our action points. Cool. So let's see what's going on. Dude waddles in. Let's get down to business. Defeat the haters. We have a great 4 years ahead of us, and we don't screw anything up. The 4 years will too. Exactly, dude. However, it would be worthwhile to start doing something. This is just, hey, you need to start making agendas. Here we go. Take me to the stream.
When do we get to nuke somebody?
We're right now, they're taking the training wheels off. We're still in the tutorial stages where we're about to learn about how we spend our action points, because we have what are called projects. So this is where things really get interesting, because you can go in just about any. So migration control, education, law enforcement, public infrastructure, imports, exports, espionage, war expenditure, military industry. But what do we want to do? What do we want to take over the countries? How do we do this?
War
Military.
expenditure and military
Nonstop
industry
war, big stick
and
policy.
espionage, the bottom three.
Ooh, we can send nukes if we do the big stick policy. Army for rent, espionage. All right, how do we want to do this? What are we thinking?
Well, I can't see what you see.
Yeah, you have to decide because we're behind.
All right, so
A wee bit.
Just tell us what you want to pick.
espionage, military industry, or war expenditure.
I
Just
mean,
pick one of those three.
They all sound pretty good.
Espionage sounds cool. Let's be a spies. All right, so the primary end goal is counterintelligence acquisition. So we'll go increasing foreign operation budget. Yes, let's do that.
Mhm.
So we send our 5 action points, and now we click to buy it. And this also is going to give us some bonuses. So we're going to get +10 max funding, +3 to current funding. And so we're going to get more money.
Oh, spying's good.
All right. And
Apparently.
so that's our day at the office.
Okay.
And
We eat cheeseburgers now?
we click to sign, and boom, we're on to the next day. And we have a whole other thing that's going to happen. And we also, once again, are
So
going to
just
spend
random
action points.
events. Random events just happen in between the planning.
Yeah. So what it's about to happen is about to open up the world map.
Okay.
And that's where things are get crazy. It might sound a little strange, but he wants you to, whoa, wow, this is actually about burgers. Mr. President, we have no time to waste. An armed man with a time bomb on his chest is currently robbing one of the banks here in Washington. He refuses to negotiate with the police. He wants you to meet his demands personally. What demands? You know, it might sound a little strange, but he wants you to order 19 burgers, 19 fries, and 19 sodas. Oh my gosh, I'm out of time. Is he insane? Screw his demands. So that one was a time one. Sometimes you have to make time decisions. So, sir, it's a hostage situation. We're not sure how many people are trapped inside the bank, but using force could be hazard. Just do what I say. I don't negotiate with maniacs. It's your call, sir, but just do it already. I don't have time for this trivial crap. I have countries to take over. All right, so now we go in here. Armed robber shot dead during a bank house. So now I see the news about this. Yesterday in Washington, D.C., an armed robber tried to steal a reported $100,000 in cash from a local bank. While the robbery was still in progress and police surrounded the building, the robber decided to force the president to order some burgers, french fries, and sodas for the hostages. That was indeed really nice of him. However, the president said he doesn't negotiate with criminals. The robber was shot dead in the chest, but he managed to kill 2 hostages and injure 3 more before he finally died. That's probably not going to be good on our public opinion.
No,
Thinking no.
it's looking pretty low.
But we have points to spend in our delicious projects. Is that all we have to do to this? That's the news. We caught up with the news. Yeah. So this is a pretty simple day, just showing us how the news work. But we can now post more intelligence. So let's go down to the espionage digital backdoor division. Yeah. I don't know what that does, but it sounds good. So
I mean, I guess it's a tree, right? So you have to go down the tree.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Let's do some military or war here.
Oh no. If you fail to regain society support by the end of the day, you will lose. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So society is really mad that I got these people murdered.
You got to declare war, man.
No, because so this is where this is the one thing I don't like. It doesn't let you play it out. You have to balance it somewhat. So I have to figure out
today.
Oh, you know what? I see what they're doing.
Okay.
I know this system.
So
This is
we
another
have to
game.
we have to throw them something. Throw something to the people.
You
They
have
are
to
mad.
declare war.
That's going to piss them off even more.
Free educational materials.
And education. Yeah, there we go. Free education. Bingo. That's brilliant, Scott. You are money.
Nope.
Oh no, I can't afford it because I messed up earlier.
Oh,
Yeah, so I don't have the tokens, and yeah, we're gonna lose.
How do you get
Player
your?
war.
Oh no, they give you one free pass. That's right. You get one free pass. So I will end my day, and oh no, apparently society is happy with me investing one action point into that. So now 60 people like me, I guess. Mr. President, it's coming to my attention that you were entirely neglecting international relations. So now we're going to start talking about the map. And then we'll wrap it up after that because the time lapse. But the map is so cool. The case caught my attention. If we want to do nukes, because I'm going to play that way, please start calmly. We want to rate out roll at the big guns. Sure, give me the map. You're all proud of me. This map. Ooh. So this is the map. And you will have news, random events that pop up on here, but every single country pretty much is in here, and they have a certain relationship and how they vote and what their president is like. And you can, how do I do this?
Blow them up.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
nuke 'em.
Well, you have
Oh wait,
to.
there's a nuclear bomb in the corner.
Yeah, but you have to unlock the nuke
Oh, I
by
see.
getting all the way through the projects. You have I don't even know what the hand is. I didn't get this far because I was too far one way. I think you gotta, I think this is true. If you actually came at it from this approach, if you went that hard one way, you'd have so much resistance. You have to kind of play it in the middle and then work your way towards your eventual end goal. I'm gonna find out.
There's a game.
But how it works is you can investigate them. So you can spend spies pretty much to Mexico. And we can send, numerous spies to Mexico. We really focus on that. We can eventually send tanks there. And it's and that's the game though. But then we would still also be working on projects. So we'd want to, of course, work on
So try to do the education thing.
Oh yeah. So we got or I could do private educational contractors, or no, I think the free educational materials is just a slam dunk. Boom. It's gonna make everybody happy, hopefully. And then so I think that's the way. And then
Public infrastructure, maybe.
that'd be good too. And then so I don't think we have any more points to spend today. So our day is over.
Are you going to win if you don't listen to your cabinet?
And and that's, but there also is a cabinet. I think that's the next part of the tutorial. And all your different cabinet members give you slightly different attributes, because if you have them in like your close positions, like if you have the defense secretary, it'll be good for big defense. Like they'll be more likely to give you money. And it has like this cool little table thing where you could drag in who you want to use it. But that's the game. I'm your president. It's so cool. Like it's just so different to me. And
Aldi, what system did you say this was like?
So there's a game called Reigns,
Rained.
which is really cool. It gives you like a choice to make, and then you choose what you want to do. Yeah, it's a app game.
I like those style games.
And you basically, it'll say, hey, there's a neighboring, it's all medieval.
Okay.
It's like sort of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It'll say something like, oh, there's a neighboring armory at your door. What do you want to do? And you say, well, you could fight them, or you could basically try to negotiate. Like there's different types of choices, and and you're raising and lowering these bars.
Okay.
Kind of like the way that because you were about to lose because society was getting too mad,
Right.
like, or if you spend too much money and you have to balance it out, like raise taxes or lower taxes. It hits you on a bunch of different like random events in order. You're the king basically, so you have to I didn't have it on this phone. I haven't downloaded it. I used to play it quite a lot. Forgot about it.
So you sunk an hour into this, you said, Forrest?
I rolled through a Democratic candidate who leaned way too far left and got bankrupt the country.
So
That's interesting.
I don't know if you basically can say, are you the young king? And you can swipe yes or no. See that?
Okay.
Yeah, I played raids before.
So I can say, oh yeah, I'm the young king.
I wonder how many times you could replay that game that you just played, though. Honestly,
Which one?
the one that the
the
force is just
president
showing
one?
off.
I mean, I think it depends on how much the different paths you actually take impact the game. I guess like how different are, because there's like 8 different paths you could take for Republicans and for Democrats. Like, and I'm wondering if it's hopefully pie in the sky, you can combine different elements of different ones and it'll give you different cool things, but I haven't dug that deep into it yet.
Here's one of the things. Says the Queen of the South is offering you 40 books. We should build a library, and you can either say yes or no. And see the 4 things at the top. If you do one and the other, it sort of, I don't know if you can see the little plus signs,
Yeah.
like in minuses.
Yeah.
Like depending on what you choose, like see
Gotcha.
1 went down
I
and 2
see,
went up,
I see. Yeah.
and then you basically just try to survive as long as you can. And it unlocks a whole bunch of things. There's like, in fact, it sucks that I've lost my save games because I unlocked quite a lot of stuff. Cool game, but I mean, I guess it's based.
Similar.
It's got a little bit of something, but I mean, obviously
Yeah.
the president one has a more systems.
Yeah.
This one's just yes or no, yes or no, yes or no.
Well, but you see what I'm saying though? I feel like this could totally be like one of those indie hits where it could be definitely streamable. Like, especially if
Sure.
you leaned into your character.
Yeah, that sure. There's potential there, but I don't think it'll be a hit. I mean, people
Oh,
don't,
most games aren't. Most games aren't. I mean, that's fair.
people don't have the attention span has to be like, it's got a little too much going on.
I'm gonna try and do a gameplay of it. I think I'm gonna talk.
Okay.
I'm thinking
No,
I'm do
I'm
that
curious.
tomorrow.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know.
I've been wrong a lot, so I can
We know.
No. Do what you feel like is the right thing. I mean, I'm not trying to dissuade you.
the video games, man. Those video game coverage. It's easy to lean into too.
That's why,
It's-
because it's basically like 100 times bigger than the board game industry. So
Yep.
Yeah.
that's why
I-
you can have some, you can carve out some success there with that a little bit easier than in the board game industry.
I feel it too. And
Yeah.
it's cool as I do the Kickstarter critiques every day, and I'm seeing more of the video game people kind of popping in there every once in a while. I got a couple regulars, so I got like my video game regulars, my board game regulars rubbing elbows. It's cool.
Lots of regulars.
It's cool.
Lots of
That's the
regulars.
goal. It's the goal. Making an event, and I get the publishers of the games or the designers of the games just popping up in the chat like once or twice a week on a regular basis now, which just makes it so much more. It just makes it seem so much more like cool, like live to me. Just like if I have a question, it's like there's this immediate feedback and answer. It's really cool. I love it. I love it.
Eh,
Well, let us know. How long you been doing the video game thing?
Since
Last week.
like September last year, somewhere around that. It's relatively early. It mostly was just because I was feeling really guilty about how much video game time I was spending. And I was like, God, like I'm wasting so much time. I need to turn this into money.
Actually, yeah.
And so I just started recording the screen.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
And it worked. You get that first taste of success, and I'm like, oh shoot, here we go, off to the races.
Consideration.
My
That's great.
That's why I don't play video games or time sinks and that. Like I like,
oh yeah.
the Civ games and stuff like that. They're just too much of a time sink though.
It's starting to feel like a job already.
But I mean, I mean, how many years were you doing board games?
11. Still doing board games.
Like,
but
do you
yeah,
feel
11.
like in 1 to 6, or what has it been? September to now? So 5 months, 6 months?
The
you
growth
feel-
has been spectacular.
Feel like it's been way better than the 11 years. You know what I mean? Like, you're like way, like, is your
It's
6
different.
months? It's different. Okay.
the
you're
good
not gonna
thing
say, like-
is the good thing is there's no money coming in from the board game, the video game stuff yet. No, it's pretty much all subscribers, even though YouTube Shorts are now
But
monetized.
YouTube pays you.
Yeah, but for my videos and how many views I get currently, it's next to nothing. It's like my most popular YouTube short that I've had since they started monetization at the beginning of February is like $1. But That's it.
$1.
It's
Yeah.
$1. But the bottom line is that number
$1 a
in
dollar.
theory is only going to go up. Like that's how I always look at it. That number is only going to go up if I keep grinding and I keep playing more games and if I keep like the person that I turn on to, I am your president is going to click that subscribe button and say, damn, this guy's covering these weird little ones that I might have gone under my radar. Because like you said, Scott, this one probably won't blow up, but there is undoubtedly going to be people who this is 100% their jam. I know that because I'm that person. And if I can link that person to that game,
See it, then yeah, someone.
Yeah.
and then I get the subscribers, and then they watch the videos more consistently, you know. But the cool part is the board game stuff, the how to play videos are the thing that make me some money. Like last year I made $10,000, at least taxable income on just Bauer's Game Corner. And it's like, okay, that's cool. That's not nothing. And that's hopefully only going to continue to grow. And it's money that we don't quote unquote need because my wife she's making more money this year than she's ever made in her whole life, you know? So it's like,
yeah,
it's cool.
Cool.
Yeah. I
That's
love your
good.
enthusiasm
It's
before.
good that you're still enthusiastic for it because you know it can beat you down.
Yeah, it can.
It's just because I keep experimenting. Like I throw everything against the wall. And when I do that, I actually have fun with it. Like,
Yeah.
and some of the stuff sticks.
Some of this stuff.
When you do your analysis, are your video game things getting more views now?
Like the 1 hour reviews, it depends on the title.
It's a 1 hour review.
Yeah. So the basic premise is I play the first hour and I'm just like, is this worth playing?
Oh,
Am I
and
going to
how long
continue
is how long is the video?
1 minute? It's a YouTube short.
1 minute.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's just the whole thing is I don't shoot the video at the end. You see my raw opinions
Right, you're
in
just
that 1 minute.
you're just running it.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, this tutorial is so frustrating. You know, like that little snippet. Like, and it's, yeah, and I just splice it together and it works. People dig it. People digging it so far.
That's cool.
It's like I was looking at my analytics. It's so much younger. Like my 13 to 17 crowd, I 100% see way more of that crowd because of the video game content, which is great because, you know, hopefully they'll be watching YouTube for the next 30 years. Hopefully I'll be doing YouTube for the next 30 years.
How old are you?
I'm 37.
67. By then, you probably can't retire till you're like 80.
Gosh, I hope.
No. But here's the thing. My retirement that we want is to drive around the country in an RV. Like,
It's pretty
it's a very,
affordable,
and
yeah.
our house is, we live in the second cheapest cost of living in the United States of America. Our house is going to get
What's the
paid off.
cheapest?
I don't know the cheapest, but we're consistently number 2.
I'm thinking somewhere in West Virginia.
In somewhere in West Virginia.
That's
Plus-
what I'm thinking.
Plus, the
Yeah.
other thing is every single thing I do, I can do from the road. Rule
That's
booklet
true.
stuff, do from the road. Kickstarter critiques, do from the road.
Everything
I do for you.
I do on the road.
Destigmatization of human genome modification research. I got to get back to work. So, what did you guys think about that game, though?
It looks fun.
You're muted, Evan.
You're muted, Evan.
It seems like it's something I would play around with for a few hours and then probably not return to.
Never look at it again.
Hours on it. And how much is it?
I have no idea.
Let me see if it's on.
But, you
Steam.
know, I've never been a huge solo video gamer anyway.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
Plan release
neither.
4 days. No price.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm primarily a multiplayer online shooter.
yeah.
These
And
guys.
so this is what?
Have these guys done games before?
I got no clue.
Crime
so-
Scene Cleaner. Oh my god.
I've
I mean,
got
back
so
in the-
many games
yeah.
sitting in my queue now, my Steam and my Xbox queue, because I did the bad thing that I did when I got into the board game hobby, where I was like, I'll take
Buy
this
them
and that,
all.
this and that, and that. Well, it's
Buy
not
them
buying.
all.
It's all free. I got 4 websites I check on a daily basis that publishers put their games on. And they're so easy to get the codes because it all just automatically syncs to my YouTube. So they know my subscribers, they know this. So it's like you're
Yeah.
pre-approved for this. You can request this.
Mm.
And like, it's a really cool system. It is. so nice compared to like,
It's interesting that you're that enthused about it.
Yeah.
what's that? I see money. I see dollar signs. I see subscribers. It's like,
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood what you're saying.
Yeah, he's a hustler, Scott.
He sees pennies.
I see pennies now. I see dollars later. I see retirement.
He's
I
looking
see-
long term, Lance.
I am. I see me working until like I'm super old on the YouTube channel, but my wife being able to retire when she wants to, because we'll have everything paid off. Like we'll own everything, and then we'll start saving for the RV, and then we'll just start saving.
We'll own
Like-
it all.
Our house
Everything you
cost
can see.
when we bought our house, it cost I think it was $47,000.
Holy shit, the RV is going to cost more than your house.
Nah, I mean, if we get a used one, I see used ones all the time.
Yeah, you will.
$10,000.
You will,
mean-
of course. Just be careful to generate, the last 2 years, the quality
Well-
control is not really there,
I check Craigslist all the time for RVs just in general because I pulled the trigger almost twice on buying an RV at two separate points in my life. Like really been at the dealership, ink to paper almost, like life-changing stuff. Because I love that. Oh, man, I love that lifestyle. Being a vagabond, being able to go like
Your
any
kids gotta
vacation.
get out of the house, though. I must suspect.
And
Leave him
that's-
alone,
that's the thing,
Lance.
though.
Let him have his dreams.
Well, yeah, 18 years
No
from now.
pissing on the Cheerios.
What are you laughing at,
18
Lance?
years from now. Like we reset that.
Don't get him
clock to
started,
be ready.
buddy, you son of a bitch.
What are you laughing at?
What?
Why are you laughing, Lance?
Now he's gonna run. I
I
know
told
Scott.
myself a joke.
Okay, I thought you were.
I don't think it's that unrealistic. I made $10,000, and my goal for when hopefully I can pay for me and my wife is 18 years from now. I am only going to be growing that $10,000 over the next 18 years, and
You're gonna invest
every
it?
single year, my home run gets bigger. My
An
biggest
RV.
video gets bigger. So like last year, I had 2 home runs where I had 160,000 view videos. So what's my next home run going to be? Maybe it's 250. When is it going to be 1 million? When can I start hitting these? Because I'm gonna get that indie video game hit. If I keep playing all these, I'm gonna be the one that covers that Flappy Bird first. I'm gonna be the one that covers that I Am the President first that actually hits. I will be there. And that's where I can gain huge hits. And if I continue to do that on a regular basis, if I grind, because that is one thing that I am pride myself on. It's the old, it's the quote from Dan, it's from the funny guy. It's
Are
persistence.
you willing to kill 47,000 rats to make it to level 2?
Persistence is a great substitute for talent. If I just stay on the grind, I know what I believe I can do,
But
especially in the video game.
There's some luck involved, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Now, granted, this is all based on YouTube Shorts continuing to be successful and continuing to grow. If we have to go back to the board game thing, it's a different thing. But then I lean more into the rule booklets and that sort of stuff. But the bottom line is, and Lance, I think you will 100% agree with this. The
No, I won't.
artificial video game subscriber count that I'm going to gain on my YouTube channel. So yeah, maybe I get to 20,000 subscribers next year, and it's to the point where I get more coverage on the video games than I do on the board games. But that 20,000K number is still going to look very impressive when I want to charge $500 for my Kickstarter video, or $350 or $400 when I want to raise the price of my Kickstarter video. And then I can start really making some cash when I really put a lot more time and effort into pushing the fact that I do Kickstarter coverage. Lance, do you think that is a fair statement? 20K subscribers looks really damn good in our hobby.
I mean, possibly, but the only problem there is that most board game publishers are getting pretty wise to the fact that the video doesn't bring people to the page anymore.
I agree.
It keeps people, like, if you don't have a video, it looks like, oh, this game must be horseshit because it doesn't have a video. If it has a video, it's like it's confirmation bias. It's like, oh, it has a video from Man versus Meeple, or oh, it has a video from Dice Tower. So it's a real game. It's like they can actually spend money and have a thing. So the thing is that with the more your name is out there. I can't stress this enough, Forrest. You want this thing to be like amazing. It's like pay somebody on Fiverr, somebody you love, to make a logo for you for Bauer's Game Corner. Like, and then go onto Fiverr and pay somebody $150 to make a real intro, because nothing says I'm still making videos on my channel that I created 16 years ago, like, and I haven't done anything to make it more modern than you still. What does that even mean anyway? You've got to change it. You have to.
That gets so many compliments on that video. Every damn convention I go to. What's that even mean? I get people yelling that at me. 10 to 15 people last year at Gen Con yelled that to me.
Well,
I swear to you, it is a thing.
You could still do it, but you could do it after, like, the one that looks professional. If you really want to be like this professional YouTuber guy, then you gotta look professional. And part of that is,
I want to do it all different though. And I don't feel like I have to, because I feel like the snowball's going downhill. And yeah, I could push it harder. Lance, I agree. This is what you say right there would push the snowball harder. I agree. But it would be great. But I don't want to do it. I don't want to put that effort in. I don't want to stretch myself too thin, especially when I'm trying to find the work-life balance with an 8-month, a 10-month-old now. Like, I'm a stay-at-home dad more than anything still. And it's just, I don't want to put in the extra effort that causes me to get burnt out again, because I've gotten so close to that so many times. And now that I'm making money and, like, I have evergreen videos that just consistently keep getting views, it doesn't affect me anymore, because I know I've put in so much grinding that some of these videos, like 500 of my videos are going to be relevant and still watched 10 years from now. And that's a really good feeling. I don't know. I think it's all going to change in about 3 years. I definitely think once my daughter goes to preschool and I have the full day to myself, that's when things are really going to kick into full gear, where I'm like, all right, I'm going to stop screwing around with the webcam. I'm actually going to figure out exactly how to make it crystal clear and all that stuff. But until then, I'm going to keep pushing the snowball down the hill, up the hill at my pace. But I agree, Lance, I agree with everything you said. If I want to push the snowball faster, I should do that. And I actually did. I actually made a really nice logo, because now I guess YouTube's trying to get into the podcast game. And so you can make any of your videos into a podcast playlist. It's weird. I don't quite understand it, but I'm going to do that. And I made like a nice professional logo. I agree with you, Lance. I'll get there. It's going to take me 3 years.
He's got a plan, Stan.
I've been so close to being burnout so many times.
Hey.
And it's not just burnout about making the videos, it's burnout about board games and video games. I mean, it's just...
if let's say you burn out on this stuff, what do you do instead? Or do you just do nothing?
Oh, you mean like Bauer's Game Corner in general?
Well, yeah, I mean,
I'd go back to being a teacher. I mean,
okay,
I got an education degree. I got a bachelor's. I'm a dude in a female-dominated thing. I would have no problem. I could get a job tomorrow. Like, how hard up they are for substitute teachers. I could literally probably make a phone call right now and be a substitute teacher in the morning if I wanted to. Like, but so I'm not worried about that. It's just, I love what I do. I mean, like, you saw how excited I was for this game. Like, if I can just convey that passion, that's what I want to keep doing.
Yeah.
Does your gender affect your job there? Like, or I mean, you said something like,
yes. I mean, you hope no, but yes, I get special treatments. I get special perks because I'm a dude. And it's not all like from the top. It's just people treat you differently. Like, the people that work there treat you differently because they want you to have a good experience a lot of the time, because they believe having a male in the classroom elicits a different response than a woman in the classroom. And obviously I think that's 100% baloney. I think it depends on the person, but especially with the older subsection of the teaching profession, and I'm really pussyfooting around how I say this, I get treated much nicer than females that are doing the substitute teaching. And because I did, you have to do special. everybody just treats you nicer because they want you to come back. I mean, that's pretty much it.
They don't
because
treat the women nice.
now, that being said, I'm called into rooms more often. Like, oh, do we need to get Mr. Bauer in here just because? I don't know.
Oh,
Like
I
that sort of thing. It's weird. It's a whole
it's
weird
like
thing.
it's like an authority figure type thing.
But I have seen firsthand me getting more preferential treatment, especially when I was working in the preschool system, because it is 99% to 1, quite literally men to women in that. And it's like, so
Women.
like we had 2 dudes that worked down there. We were the token men, quite literally. Like we were in like promotional materials, like when they wanted to get a picture in the newspaper, like, oh, hey, yeah, Forrest, why don't you come in there and read? I think that'd be a great picture. That literally happened. They're like, we want you to go down there and read to these kids. And I was like, okay. So yeah, as much as unfair as that is, I definitely think you get preferential treatment as a dude. And once again, that's just my personal.
But that isn't what you want to go back. You don't want to do.
We don't want to do that.
No,
Yeah.
I love what I do. I absolutely adore it. I get to spend all day with my daughter. Like I feel so much more connected to her than I did to my other 2 kids at this.
Yeah.
And I hate that. And I love that. Like, I know, like, I know her because I see how she does everything, how her brain works. I get to watch her all day, and being an early childhood education major, like it's just so fun. Like it's just like, oh my gosh, you're so close to this developmental milestone and this developmental milestone, which means then we can start doing this developmental milestone. And it's just, it's I will say that has gotten my teaching, like going back and looking at my daughter's developmental milestones and where she needs to be and what she needs to do. And when we're going to start doing Hooked on Phonics just gets me so excited. It gets the teacher back of me just getting excited again. Because I got burnt out of that. Like that just beat you down. That's why I wanted to go into politics. Just seeing what real life was for these kids in poverty. Like, just beats you down day after day, not being able to do a damn thing for them.
So Tony Bosca has a good point. He says, look at the opposite. The board game content creators that have quickly climbed to the top tier in part to looking super professional out of the gate.
Yeah. I agree 100%. Like I don't disagree with Lance.
You just don't have that pressure. You just don't feel it.
I don't. And right now, I say this all the time. I'm cultivating an audience that is fine with that low production quality. So when I do flick that switch, like it's just going to be a whole about effing time, you know. But yeah, I'll get there.
Okay.
I got those fancy light bulbs that Lance was talking about, the natural light bulbs. I got those for the most part. There's like 3 that I haven't replaced yet because they haven't burned out, but got those. Working on it, green screens, whatnot, all sorts of fancy stuff. I'm really excited about this. I'm doing a series in the next, hopefully, month or 2 where I play VHS games. And I'm going to literally record the TV screen of the VHS and then intersplice like the board with the TV screen. I won't be able to monetize it, but I still think because they're big intellectual properties. Like I got a Star Trek game up here. I got the NFL quarterback VCR. Like I've got some cool big hitter VCR games, and I'm excited to do that. So any VCR game recommendations, I'm all ears.
Into the Unknown.
Into the Unknown?
I think that's what it was called. What was it called? I don't know if actually it might be a multiplayer game.
No idea.
Hold on, I'll find it. Doorways to Horror.
Doorways to Horror.
Yeah. So how do you play it? You would get the VCR game and then you would just.
He's not even there, Scott. Here he comes.
Anyway, I think I might have to go.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, good luck. I mean, I always wish you luck. But yeah, there was a Sid Saxon game called Doorways to Horror.
Doorways to horror. Well, I've been hitting up my local Goodwill, hoping to snatch one up because I've seen a couple of them. I just never thought to buy them because who wants this crap? And now I'm like, dang, because I see the eBay prices, they're stupid.
Really?
But yeah,
Oh, for VCR games. I
Yeah.
mean, the fact that it's like not on YouTube already is weird. Like, I feel like most of those games could just be YouTube videos.
oh, they might be. I don't know. I haven't checked. Well, I mean, this is what I
Research
talk
it
about.
all.
Why I love doing
Done.
Bowers Game Corner. Like, I'm just gonna do this completely crazy, random ass idea one day when I stop procrastinating, and it's either gonna work or it's not gonna work. And if it works, I'd be like, "Holy crap! I really need to double down on this." And I'll probably put out one a week or something like that until I run out of topics. But it's like, it's the fun part. Like, what is gonna work? Because I don't know. I don't know the kids these days.
Young whippersnappers.
I don't know what kids want.
So I really don't.
Cool.
Yeah,
I got to bail.
Okay, he's got the...
yeah, it's midnight-ish.
Oh, you guys keep
so-
talking.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I got to do a blood test tomorrow, so I got to go to bed.
Oh, they gotta
Blood
make sure
test?
you have blood or what?
Just
It's there.
poke
We
him.
found
Well, I
it.
want to test the blood.
Make sure it's still in there. It's not
Oh.
He's
green.
a vampire.
Oh, now I can see Michelle
yeah, I
staking
got a
them through the
pack.
heart. That ain't right.
Just in case we actually do take off tomorrow, despite the
Yeah,
7 inches of snow.
lots of snow, man. And it's so weird is that we're not gonna get that much, honestly. I mean, it's super, super cold here.
Yeah.
I mean, like right now there's wind chills that are like there was a graphic that showed for North Dakota and Minnesota. Like
Yes.
if you're
See you, Scott.
outside, see you, Scotter.
You know the drill.
If you're outside, like even if you're outside, like
We'll
without
die
like,
in
necessary
34 seconds.
it was like we're ranked in like dark orange, meaning that like more than 10 minutes outside could result in frostbite and or death. You know, if you're not like you don't have the right.
And he wanted us to go there this weekend.
That sounds legit.
Yeah, and it's just like, and there was areas that were just red, death. You know, just like, just like
I guess with that, I wouldn't want him to screw around.
Nah.
Like, you want to scare kids. Like, literally, this is one of the scenarios where you want to scare kids out of not going there. So I get it. The death zone.
right now it feels like negative 28 right now.
Yeah.
So, and it's not supposed
Pay
to
your
get better
heating bill.
anytime soon. Nope, I refuse. I'm not gonna pay no heating bill.
I don't need it.
My air quality is good. My UV index is
You
low.
just can't enjoy it because your nostrils will freeze shut.
No pollen. That's good.
Your lungs will
Good.
set on fire.
Tomorrow night, Thursday night, we're going to have a low of negative 23. That's nutballs.
It's not right.
Your mom stays up there through the winter. Like, she doesn't like go back and forth like some people.
No, my dad's in Arizona, but my mom, she just stays here. Let's see. Let me see what we got. So tomorrow at 10 p.m. it's gonna feel. See, it's weird. It's because it's not gonna be as windy tomorrow, so it's gonna be like negative 12 or whatever, but it's only gonna feel like negative 31. Like right now, it's negative 3 outside, but it feels like negative.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's the feel. Yeah,
Nothing.
Yeah, it's the feels like.
it's the feels.
It's the feels.
It feels like I should move if I'm in that kind of weather. This is what I would think.
It is. I mean, it's stupid. It is just. I mean, this area of the world, we get these cold, but like we're getting like no snow because it's just too cold for snow. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be neat, as they say, as the kids say.
It'll be
It'll-
neat.
They say.
Yeah, so that's crazy. Yeah, I managed to pick the one weekend where it's gonna be like fuck all cold, and having people out here to. Well, I mean, it will be 7 degrees on Saturday at 3 o'clock. So
There you go.
That'll be nice.
Nice balmy day.
Nice 7 degrees. And then the hilarious thing is, come Sunday, it'll be like 23 degrees out. You know, just like, hey, we made it past the polar vortex. You know, just whatever the hell this is.
Do you get a lot of snow out there in Portland, Evan?
And it depends on.
I thought it was mainly
things.
rain.
Generally, no. But right now, yes.
Yeah.
No, it tends to be, most often rain and overcast skies, but rarely snow. And then, couple weeks a year, there's some snow usually.
Dad, I couldn't definitely.
It just happens to be a ton today.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't live in the Northwest there. That rain would kill me.
It's a lot. It's a lot of rain.
I'd like to see it though. I'd like to see the redwood forest and all that.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
Up and along there, if there's anything left by the time I get out there.
Mhm. Nope.
Nope.
Oh, I just figured out how to conquer people. Hell yeah.
So
Forrest, the new dictator of the world, World War III.
Oh yeah. That's the goal.
So there's
Don't follow
all these,
Napoleon,
there's all
he's
these
screwed
there's all these YouTube videos out there that are like animations of like medical procedures, like, oh, I want to know what it's going to be like if I get my wisdom tooth removed or something like that.
Huh.
And I watched one where I was removing an ingrown toenail, and I actually had a really bad ingrown toenail, like that I actually had to have go in and they had to surgically pry it out of the leg, the thing. Yeah, and they hit it with Novocaine or whatever. But it was neat because I got to watch him do it. I was like, I'm gonna watch you do this. If you don't want to watch, it's fine. No, I'll watch. And and I was just like, so I'll watch this guy do it. It's like they peel it out and they do everything, and then they apply the acid to the root so it'll never grow back. And so because he said it'll always try to grow back the same way now that it's learned to do that. So we're just gonna kill like one of my toenails is about like 2 millimeters less wide than the other big toenail.
Huh.
But I remember like I got done with it because it was like just a same day procedure, go in, get it done. And they wrap it up with gauze or whatever. And I was supposed to have the place I was living was like 5 blocks or 6 blocks away from the hospital. So I was just like, I was supposed to like call somebody to get a ride, and I was just kind of like, I'll just walk home. I remember, and because I was all Novocained up, it didn't hurt at all, and I walked home, and I remember I got I was like 2 blocks away from my house, and I was like, man, why is my shoe all wet?
Yeah.
I pulled my shoe off, my sock was just covered in blood, like dripping blood. I had like, yeah, it was one of the dumber things I'd done in my life. Just it's like scorch. Yeah, did not make it was weird. It was weird to say the least.
Oh, this is weird.
What?
We
What's
got
weird?
him. I just got one of the last remaining members of Al Qaeda who was hiding out in Mexico because
You
I was
got him.
investigating Mexico, and we got him. It's a
There you
big
go.
moral victory, a lot of patriotism right now. Bingo.
Time to nuke them. Get the nukes.
Yeah, I can remember. I can remember. I was sitting. It was one of those things where I stayed up super late and I was getting ready to go to bed, and I happened to have like and then I remember I was like, I had my TV on, and like all of a sudden it said breaking news or whatever, Saddam Hussein captured or whatever. And I remember I was like, what? And I pulled up CNN because it was like whatever, it was 7 o'clock in the morning or whatever it was. And I do remember that, it's like, ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that moment.
Yeah, there's certain.
But
certain things.
yeah, crazy.
Remember when Obama got elected because Leak was crying? I remember that. Very happy about
Because what
that.
was crying?
Leak was crying. One of the guys at work, one of my friends, Malik. He was crying. He never thought he'd see the day. Get black. I would get elected.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that. I
I just heard a leak was crying, and I was
yeah,
like,
a leak,
I'm sorry, yeah.
my
like
daughter
a weird
has, like, a little
onion.
plush
I mean, like
leak.
what are we?
Nah,
Yeah.
it's short.
Leak.
Depending on who I was with, they either call him Leak or by a nickname.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because there was another guy there, Kalik. So they both went by Leak or Leaky, so it got confusing sometimes.
Leak is actually pretty cute.
I could
Yeah, a
see
little smiley face.
that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'll say about that other than that. I do remember that morning.
Twin Towers. I remember that. I just got back
Yeah.
from New York. Like a couple hours before that happened.
Yeah, that's also a weird thing. I remember watching the TV, watching the one burning tower, and nobody had any idea. Then all of a sudden, it was just like as you're watching, and the plane flies in the other one, and I was just like, "Oh, geez, that's not a mistake."
Yeah. Yeah, I was on the road when the news came over the first one, and I saw the second one on the TV. I got home by then.
Yeah,
That was a mess of the day.
weird day.
Yep.
Weird day. Yeah, I don't know. Crazy stuff. I mean, people remember those. Yeah, like it's called snapshot memory. It's like you always remember where you are during that moment. Like that was our Kennedy was shot, or a Challenger explosion, or
I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
you
That was in
remember where
grade
you
school.
were at that moment. My mother was watching TV and saw Jack Ruby get shot on national TV.
Yeah.
So not Jack Ruby. Jack Ruby shot. Dennis Miller had a very good joke about that. He was just like, what was the security detail on moving Lee Harvey Oswald that day? It was like, hey boss, the gangster who runs the titty bar wants to know if he can come in. Is that okay? You know, it's like, who are they turning away? He was just like, I was like, yeah, that's but then again, security just wasn't not the same thing.
Okay.
I learned something I didn't know, that the Zapruder guy who recorded the thing, he sold the film to Life magazine for $150,000, which in today money is something like $6 million or something like that.
Back then.
He sold it to Life magazine under the Kabuki, that sucks. I'm sorry. Sorry, but he sold the thing, but under the that they couldn't do anything to produce the actual like frame of the actual like the gunshot. Like if there's the famous frame that everybody sees where you see the gunfire and the blood. And he said that they couldn't produce anything with that. That was like one of the things that he sold it to him. And he kept a little bit of the money himself, but the vast majority of the money he donated to a couple of charitable causes, including he donated it to the family of the police officer that Lee Harvey Oswald killed, Tippit. He donated like a large chunk of the money to them and stuff like that. So it was definitely he was not trying to profit off of it anyways.
Right.
And then Life magazine then sold the film back to his family after he died for $1. They sold it back. And then I was like, well, that's weird, And then get this. I learned this. This is just something I read. I was watching a thing where the government used eminent domain to claim the film from the Zapruder family, which I always thought eminent domain only covered like you're like, oh, we want to build an airport here, and that's where your house is, so we're gonna just go ahead and take it. So eminent domain can apply to anything as long as it is considered to be of like of value that it should be owned by the government and not privately owned. However, they have to actually pay a reasonable they have to pay a reasonable value of the item, and so they paid the Zapruder family $16 million for the movie of John F. Kennedy's assassination. So I mean, just I don't know, just weird little stats, things that I never knew, but then yeah, now I knew. That's one of those things.
Now you know.
Now you know, and yeah, what are you gonna do?
I wonder if we'll ever really figure out what happened there.
Too old. You never will, because the reason why you never will is the whole a conspiracy of that level. If would have to like deathbed confessions or things like that are a thing, right? Somebody writes down the truth and then puts it in a security deposit box or something like that, and then if it's unearthed or they confess it at the end or one of those things. And then theoretically you'd have a situation where there's somebody could say, and if I don't care if you ever tell, we'll kill your entire family. Well, then you keep your mouth shut, because even if you're on your deathbed, you don't say anything. But there's eventually going to be somebody who, I don't have any family, so I'm going to say I know what's going on or something like that. And the whole thing is that eventually, it gets to one of those things where somebody always tells somebody, and that somebody, and then so it just grows exponentially, and eventually it just somebody says something. So, as Kabuki Kid just said, the unfortunate situation is that it is most likely a single person with a gun killed the president that day. And that's one of the reasons why it is very, very difficult for us to stomach that and say is because we hate the idea that one person can actually cause it. Like it could actually be, who's that? Is that a ghost that just ran behind you?
It's a ghost to Evan Past.
Is that your long-suffering wife,
Yeah.
Evan? Oh, I feel so sorry for her.
Normally
That
she's in bed
saint
at
of a
this time.
woman.
You gotta wear wearing those stupid beanies around, trying to pretend you're not bald. Just
She knows.
She's getting ready for the flight tomorrow if it happens.
well, I hope you get out of there. But yeah.
It'll be
No,
fun.
I mean, I don't really believe in any conspiracy theories. There's a couple that I think
Bigfoot
maybe
is not a conspiracy theory.
no, that's just real. That's not conspiracy
Oh, okay, I'm
theory.
sorry.
There's nobody keeping that. There's nobody keeping that down. He's just really good at hiding. It's not a conspiracy theory. Jeez. Whatever game Forrest is playing, it's
He's still on that president thing. Who'd you nuke now, Forrest?
I took over Cuba.
Cuba. There
But
you
I got
go.
a military based on Cuba. I'm trying to figure out how to take it over.
Your stepping stone.
I
There
believe
you
it's
go.
called Cuba.
I'm messing with Jamaica right now.
You don't want to mess with Jamaicans,
Jamaica
man.
be
Never mess with
crazy.
Jamaicans.
Trying to
grew up in the
worsen
hood,
our
trust me.
relationships with Jamaica so people be cool with me attacking them.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, what's Evan? I apologize. What's the flight that are you going on a flight, or is it just her?
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm gonna go.
Where are you going?
Well, supposedly Hawaii, Maui.
Maui, you say?
Is
Yeah.
it just you or the family going?
Me and my girls and my mother-in-law?
Your girls. Oh, your daughter and
My wife and my daughter. Yeah,
How long you
your
going?
daughter, and your daughter is how old?
she's 3.
She'll remember it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It'll be her first big plane trip, and it'll be fun.
No,
I was
she
just-
won't. That's my point. She
Yeah.
won't
She'll
remember it.
it.
I was just
No,
talking to my
no.
sister about that.
She'll remember it for a long time.
She's going to Poland.
She'll remember what you tell her about the stories.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
And
no,
everything with
no,
conflict.
and I don't take that the wrong way. I mean, like when we took our son was just barely through, and we took him to Disney World, right? You know, he doesn't remember anything about it.
Yeah.
I mean, like he remembers the stories we tell
You
him
had a great
about
time.
being there.
You loved it.
Yeah.
But for
loved it.
us, it's one of those like I got to see him there, you know, and like
Yeah.
and enjoying it. So that it was for me, not him.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
screw him.
This is more for my wife than for my daughter. You know,
How long you going for it, Evan? Couple weeks?
just
Week?
like 5 days. 5 days.
5 days.
Yeah, 4 or 5 days.
So how long of a flight from there is it to?
I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow. Long. I don't know. Maybe 8 hours or something.
8 hours.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I never knew what boredom was until I got on a plane in Seattle, Washington with Michael Mendez and flew to Tokyo.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh my heavens. What is it, like 14 hours?
Yeah.
Probably.
In the
My brother
sky?
did that
It
a
was like-
couple times. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember it was just kind of like, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, well, we're leaving. I got up at like 6 a.m., flew to Seattle, which was like whatever, a 3-hour flight or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, met up with Michael. I was like, oh, thank you. They met up with Michael. And then he was like, hey, you know, it's our flight leaves at 2 or whatever it is. And I'm like, okay, cool, you know, and so you get on there and I'm like, I'll read my book for like an hour or two. Oh, they got these movies. Watch a movie. Oh, why don't I catch a little shut eye? You know, I remember I leaned back and I was like, I can just kind of fall asleep because we didn't have first class seats, but we had like
Yeah.
I had front row seats, so I had ample feet room. So I was like, this is kind of nice, you know. I just put my feet out and honestly, on that long flight, the staff were just constantly like saying things like, oh, hey, did you need another soda? Did you know, there it was just like, you know, being at a casino. They were just like, oh, did you need a snack? Did you need anything? You know, and it was just, you know, so it was like, oh, you know, just, you know, like, but I remember I was sitting there and I remember and I was like, oh, I'll just take a little nap. And then it was like, so I took like a 3-4 hour nap and I was like, oh, okay, well, that was kind of nice. And I was like, so how much more? 7 more hours. Just
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm bored. I'm so bored. There's nothing to do.
That's why you got to fly the other direction to the Netherlands, so you get those tasty little sandwiches.
Oh yeah. My sister wants to take my niece to Poland to meet her grandparents.
Mhm.
And I'm like, she's never been on a plane. My sister, let alone my niece, who's only 3 years old. And I'm like, you sure you want to do this? You want to wait a year or two? Maybe take a domestic flight first so you know what it's like to get on a plane. You know, instead of spending 10 hours in a plane.
Rip off the Band-Aid.
Yeah. And she gets motion sickness. So I'm like, oh man, you're just screwed. Yeah. Yeah, but then she's tired and she can't watch the kid.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just one of those things where, I hadn't thought about this in a long time. My son brought it up to me today after we were talking about what we were playing chess,
guys?
and he finally beat me. Like I said,
Good for
he
him.
beat it. Yeah, I was proud of him.
I hope he pounds you into the ground and then retires.
No. He was not like shoving it in my face or anything like that. I just said, good job. And
So he's a good
just
sport.
He's a very good sport.
Unlike his father. Okay.
And no, and so then then he reminded me of like, hey, do you remember when I was like 6 or 7 and I had plantar's warts on my foot? I was like, yeah. And he's like, remember when you like scraped him off with a razor blade? I was like, yeah, I remember that. He's like, yeah, that was weird. I was like, yeah, I remember doing that. I was just like, because he had these plantar's warts and then it was just like, And like when I had them, my mom did the same thing. She just took a razor blade and she just would slice the top off of them, like over and over. You know, put a little alcohol on them, slice the top off. Then they grow back a little bit more. You slice the top off, and eventually they just go away because like you just I don't know how it works. I have no idea how it works. It just does. But I remember telling him, it's like, yeah, hey, he's like, it's gonna hurt. I was like, no, it isn't, because I'm just carving the top of your skin off. And he's like, that was kind of neat how that worked. I was like, yeah, it was. I don't know why I thought of it. He just thought of that and just brought it up out of nowhere. Just like, I was like,
The
yeah.
things parents do. I remember my mother stitching up one of my elbows. At the
I
house.
remember when I got my when I was playing slow pitch softball and a guy hit me over the head with a bat, and I got and now it was right here where there's there's a bump right here on my head, and this is back when I had a full head of hair. But I remember, and I got like, it was like 16 stitches, to close the wound on the top of my head. And but I remember they were like, oh yeah, you just they'll mostly fall out, but you come back in like 2 weeks or whatever, and we'll remove the stitches. And I remember I was just sitting there, and my mother was just like, I'll just remove them. And I remember I was just sitting there, and she was just like, snip, 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 pull, 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 pull. I remember doing that. It's like, I don't know if you should be doing this, Mom. No, she's like,
It's fine. I got alcohol. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
That's some whiskey.
I thought that was kind of neat. Just yanking stuff out of your skin. Yeah. What are you gonna tell me as a chiropractor? Nobody should be removing stitches, but you, Evan, and other licensed medical something or others.
Chiropractors in the state of Oregon can get extra certification to give and remove stitches. I don't have the certification, so I'm going to tell you nothing.
You ain't getting shit out of me.
They remove them or not remove them. I do not have a medical opinion on that.
Is that just in Oregon, or is that like
every
countrywide?
Every state's licensure is slightly different.
Yeah.
For each license.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of generalities, but it's always different from state to state a little bit.
Well, I know they can stick needles in you. I've had them do that to me. Maybe with the acupuncture shit.
Yeah.
Over here they could. The acupuncture
yeah,
shit and all that. The ice packs and the fun stuff.
Our acupuncture lobbyists are strong in Oregon.
All right.
Like gyros can't stick needles in people. That's our thing.
It's a big fine lines between things.
Territory battles, man.
It's
a tale as old as time.
Are you still doing the chiropractor in Evan, or did I die off?
I mean, that's how I afford all my side hobbies. I do that 3 days a week, and then board game stuff most of the rest of the time, and occasionally hop in for a manager meeting at the coffee shop.
Sleep.
It's
debatable.
Not usually.
Get it in now when you're young, because it's gonna fuck you up the rest of your life. Trust me, your sleeping habits will be shot. Your eating habits will be shot.
Are you even older than me? How old are you?
Not much. 44.
44. Yeah, I'm 43.
That night shift.
Get my age.
Man, I was thinking about this the other day, Jen. I've been working since I was 12.
Yeah.
The last 10 years on night shift, the graveyard shift, that killed me.
The studies on night shift is not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
I still wake up at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning just because that was a lunchtime. Yeah. I don't eat. I just wake up. Yeah. Still messes me up. I enjoyed most of it though. I mean, I liked it because you were left alone. You get a job, you get it done, and you're left alone the rest of the time.
There's benefits to being up and doing things when most people are not around.
Yeah.
So here's a random thing that has nothing to do with anything
Perfect.
that you're talking about. So I I like, just like, podcasts, things like that. And I found, and once again, I can't recommend enough RPG podcast, the Apocalypse Players. They just play Call of Cthulhu, and they're really good. Like I said, they're actors, and they do a really good job, and they do a really good job with the production values, blah, 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 blah. So check that one out. Theapocalypseplayers.com, or find them on any podcast. They're on every single podcast thing. I've actually considered joining their Patreon. They're so good. Like giving them their $5 or whatever it is that they want. But anyway, I searching for like a good D&D like live play podcast. Man, without obviously the giant one that everybody knows that exists out there. I tried watching that. I don't find that interesting at all. It doesn't feel real to me. It doesn't feel like it just feels like it's just, whatever. It doesn't feel like a real thing. But man, there's always one that like I can like everybody that's doing it, but there's always like one person who's either voice or the way they do it, or the way it just bugs me. And it just like, and it's like if they, as soon as they start talking or doing anything, then I have to turn it off. I found one, I thought I liked it, and it's called 3D6 Down the Line. It's like old school D&D, and I was like, this is like, it's just hear them talking in the background. But like one of the guys on that thing is the guy that I hate to play D&D with, and it's just like, because they're the ones that have to ask, like in the middle of like something exciting or something fun, they're the ones. Can I have a point of clarity question here? Exactly how far away would the window be from me if I was next to the statue? But it's just like, who cares? It doesn't freaking matter. Oh, let me follow-up question. And I was just like, so I had to stop listening to that, because then as soon as I clued into that, the fact that guy just never ever like enjoyed what was going on and just went with the flow and had to know, like, whatever, some sort of like his diorama that he was creating in his brain or whatever of the scene had to be absolutely perfect before he could actually move forward. And he's the same person who same person who interrupts the dungeon master when they're trying to say, I don't know, just drove me crazy. And I was like, so I can't find one. It's annoying me.
Can't find.
Yeah.
I watched this thing on Joe Montana is big in it, but he got an epoxy table made by, I can't remember the name of the company now. But this thing was huge. They had to like crane it into his house and all. It was 12 foot by 6 foot or something. I didn't realize how deep into it he was. That the Joe Montana. I can't remember. He was in True Blood and a couple other things.
Oh,
But he has like a big Hollywood D&D
like
thing.
Joe Montana.
He was in the
Joe Montana.
Montego.
Boys.
He was in Triple X or Magic Mike rather, and Manganiello. That's it. I didn't realize how much into it he was. Like he's got things with Dragonlance. Is that? He's doing stuff like a documentary about that and stuff behind the scenes with him and all.
Yeah, man, nerds get famous too sometimes.
I just didn't realize how big. Like I knew he did this this Hollywood D&D thing with like Vince Vaughn and Tom Morello was in there once in a while, and was he? Yeah, it might have been him. I knew there was a bunch of them. But I didn't realize how deep into it he was, like on the in the industry side of it,
Yeah.
But the table he got is pretty cool. It's massive, like I said, and heavy. I'm sure that's probably 5 inches of epoxy, over the wood. Yeah, but I thought it was pretty cool. Just how, like I said, they had to crane it into the second floor and cut a railing out. And it was nuts how he shifted this in there. Sure, he paid a pretty penny. It reminded me of the framing days.
Framing.
Yeah, when I was building houses, we used to do that shit. Pay us lumber through the second floor, with a crane. And actually, that's how we put most of the roofs on, was the cranes.
March, new Mandalorian, and also new Ted Lasso. That's
Which
good.
Which one are you more excited about?
I'm kind of equal on both.
Mhm.
Mandalorian, I mean, obviously, because, well, it'll be cool. But last season of Ted Lasso, they're
Yeah.
only going to do 3
Said
seasons.
Lasto.
Yeah, Ted. I get it. Ted Last. Oh, I got it.
Yep.
I got it.
Still Picard too.
I don't watch.
I have very mixed feelings on that. Actually, I've been watching Wu Tang. Is the second or third season that came out on Hulu. That's been a pretty cool series. That just is still running now. But anyway, either or, Lance.
Say
Did
that
you ever
again, I'm
sit down
sorry.
with your dad with that? It was the Mandalorian, wasn't it? That you were
Yeah, Mandalorian. Yeah, I mean, when he's in town, we'll watch it. You know, so I mean, it's kind of fun. 3 generations of Mikesters. So
All right, gang. I gotta go pack.
yeah, I was gonna say
Alright,
let's
Evan.
wrap her up, and then I don't know. Just for those of you who aren't going to my board game weekend this weekend, well,
So
who needs you?
everybody.
You guys suck.
We'll be warm.
But I'll actually play board games this weekend, so
Good.
maybe I'll tell stories about them. You know,
Nah, you're just
maybe I'll play that freaking hack game After the Empire.
Oh, that one.
That
sucks.
game,
Can you believe
man.
they're coming out with
You know what's weird about After the
expansion?
Empire is that since I played so much of it on TTS, playing it live, I get annoyed by it. I'm like,
So I have to
just
move the thing with the
why isn't
thing.
this set up faster?
Yeah,
God dang
that's
it.
fair too. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway. All right, everybody.